The first principle is that you must not fool yourself. You are the easiest person to fool. Richard Feynman. Good afternoon and welcome to CedTalks.
Yeah, welcome to CedTalks, where we separate fact from fiction. Mess it up a minute every time. This that Ced Talk, yeah, we said it straight. Cut through the noise, elevate the debate. No pseudo talk, no foggy claims. Just evidence-based when we build these frames. Ced Talks, yeah, clarity first. If it ain't got method, it probably won't work. From ancient knowledge to modern science, we draw that line, that clear defiant. They say the ancients had science. Hold up, pause. Knowledge ain't the same as methodological laws. Observation, yeah, but control tests rare. No predictive models, you gotta be fair. We respect the past, but we keep it exact. Precision matters when you deal with facts. Astronomy grew, astrology split. One stayed empirical, one lean myth. The shift came through naturalistic method. Just stand revised, that's how we embed it. Not culture bound, not tied to a place. It's a universal tool for the human race. Discuss it, talks, yeah, you said it straight. Cut through the noise, elevate the debate. No pseudo talk, no foggy claims. Just evidence-based when we build these frames. Ced Talks, yeah, clarity first. If it ain't got method, it probably won't work. From ancient knowledge to modern science, we draw that line, that clear defiance. They blur definition, start moving the goalposts. Turn fried to a claim that don't hold close. Science ain't on, this a process refined. Independent of culture, space and time. You can't redefine it to fit identity. That's how you lose all epistemic integrity. We test every claim, we don't just believe. If it can't be verified, we don't receive. From early observers to labs today, it's rigor and doubt that paved the way. Not name dropping scholars to win a debate, but data and method that validate. So what's your ideology? That's cool to ask, but truth ain't decided by the loudest class. We question it all, no sacred ground. If it don't hold up, we break it down. It's that Ced Talk, yeah, we live in direct. No fear in the facts, just intellectual respect. No more, no mirror, no fantasy, just truth, logic, and consistency.
Good afternoon and welcome once again to another episode of CedTalks. Eventually I'm going to turn my screen off because the internet is glitching. And again, I am begging your cooperation. When you get in the building, please hit the like button, smash the like button. And if you are so willing to do, please share this on your social media. Let all your friends and family know that is another episode of Ced Talks right here on the Pseudo Killers. Shout out to all the Pseudo Killers. Shout out to my boy Alex Grant in the chat. I haven't seen Ghouls yet, and I know that Karen is somewhere in the audience watching. I appreciate y'all being here. Y'all could be anywhere, but y'all are here every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday afternoon when we engage in these Ced Talks. And of course, we are talking about scientific literacy. I'll be back on Friday with another installment of Philosophy of Mind. We are going to examine the idea of the self a little bit more in depth. In the meantime, we are on the evolution of the conversation with regards to scientific literacy. The conversation was started some weeks ago when it was clear, shout out to Thunder, that we were talking past each other, not really understanding what scientific literacy meant. It was in connection with the current events with regards to the Carmelo Anthony case and how scientific literacy helps us make the right decisions in terms of our civic duty, jury duty, uh, the parenting skills that we develop, and how scientific literacy is a tool that helps you make proper decisions overall for you, your family, etc. Right? And the conversation evolved, and in that conversation, it somehow we ended up on AI. Having that conversation led me to start to talk about technophobia. I do not have these particular sentiments around AI and this sort of thing because, again, I employ scientific literacy. You understand human nature, you watch the historical development of technophobia, and you come to realize that with every great change, every paradigm shift, there comes a elaborate amount of fear. Go back to the previous episode when we talk about from Plato on up, every change in our societal structure led to some form of mass panic, mass hysteria. And in so doing, it led us to the conversation about AI initiated by Lex Vortex. And we had some dialogue about that. In doing so, I was preparing this episode of CedTalks to delve into AI and tie it back to scientific literacy and the connection to this technophobia. Was on Nepal's panel yesterday. Shout out to Nepal over there on the HOK, and she was having a similar discussion with regards to um, AI, soul, whether it has a soul, whether it's thinking. Um, it was a quite interesting conversation, and you see again, it illustrated technophobia and the current fears that we are dealing with. And so I engaged in a conversation for a bit. And of course, I recognized the usual tropes that came. The conspiracy theories were there. The personification, the anthropomorphization of AI, which is a natural human tendency. The attributing of agency towards AI was the biggest aspect of the whole conversation. And again, if you engage with some philosophers like Dennett and you would understand that this is a conversation that is being had out there in the public arena as well. And these are the philosophers and scientists that assure us that AI has no sentience, has no agency. And in this episode of Set Talks, we are going to elaborate a little bit about what that is, go into the nuances a bit, slow the conversation down, and try and get a better grasp on reality with regards to AI, as it is now dominating every aspect of information and of commercials, etc. Again, let me ask you to please thumb up the show, like the show, share the show. I appreciate if you leave a comment in the chat. I'll shout you out. This is a community engagement. I hope I get a lot of feedback from the chat with this conversation as to let get an idea of where our sentiments, our minds is with regards to this subject. I'm expecting a different type of discourse over here because, of course, we promote scientific literacy, and so I think we should have a reduced level of fear with regards to this conversation. But before I get into the presentation, let me do my little intro. The public conversation about AI is dominated by hype, fear, marketing, science fiction, and misinformation. Some people believe AI is becoming conscious. Others believe superintelligent machines will enslave humanity. Still others think AI is simple a research engine. All three views are misunderstandings. Scientific literacy requires us to understand what AI actually is, uh, wha- how it works, what it can do, what it cannot do, and where legitimate concerns begin and end. All right, let me shout out to Goose in the chat. Now I'm feeling a little bit more comfortable because I see you in the chat. I see Afro Hair Science in the chat. I appreciate you being here. Thank you for joining the program, and of course, Black African Power to you, my sister. Um, Again, one component, like the show as you enter, and if possible, share the show where you can. All right, without further ado, I'm going to turn my screen off because that saves bandwidth, and I'm going to get into the presentation, and we are going to chop it up about what AI is, isn't, what are the fears, what are the concerns, what is real, and what isn't. Yellow Dosha, I know. Thank you for being here. Hey, and I appreciate that comment. It is the Dosha's favorite channel. ladies and gentlemen. You heard? All right. Without further ado, no, there's the ritual that I must do, and every time I get a new favorite song, I gotta just play it before I get into the presentation. So bear with me. My new favorite
Hit the
song is
button. Hit the button, show. Hit the button, yo. Chasing pseudo, yo. There they go. We killing pseudo, though. Hit the button, show. Where them niggas go? They running, yo. It's the hit the button show. Where the pseudo go? They running, yo. Just hit the button, yo. Where the pseudos go? They thought the killers putting on a show, though. That's how it goes. It about what you know, and that'll show. But where they go? Pseudos running, yo. Pseudo killers in this bitch.
presentation: AI, fact, fiction, and the future. Artificial intelligence is everywhere. News headlines, social media, education, business, politics, and of course, conspiracy theories. But most discussions begin really. AI is not magic. AI is not a digital brain. AI is not a supernatural entity. AI is a collection of computational systems designed to perform tasks that normally requires human intelligence. It is a collection of computational systems. So the different computational process that a computer can do that they have been programmed and designed to do since the 1950s. We'll get into that. It is designed to perform tasks that normally require human intelligence. Examples: pattern recognition. Oh, sorry. Pattern recognition, language generation, predictions, classifications, and optimizations. So one of the main things that humans do, we are pattern seeking animals. Language. It models our language. It generates language. And it does that by predictive modeling. It is great for classifications, putting things in categories, and optimizing processes. It's a tool. So the history of AI. In a brief timeline, in the early 50s, early AI concepts by Alan Turing. So this is not something that popped out of nowhere. It has been developing for quite some time. And once you understand this development and how there are theories and stuff, you see now where movies get made based on the theories that they're developing. Between the 1960s and 1980s, you had symbolic AI. Go back and look at some of the movies where you have early robotics, R2D2, what's that show? Buck Rogers, Buck, and Lost in Space. Primitive models of AI, computers that were doing the thinking alongside humans. That little bot, that little face, that little round thing like a pendulum that Buck Rogers' little android had with it, the brain. Remember, Knight Rider, Kid. That's all AI. That's all AI. Wasn't scary until the 1990s machine learning expands. Then you get the Terminator, Skynet. I'm tying it to the movies. So you can see that the movies coincide directly with the state of development of AI or the ideas at that time. You get the Matrix, you get these movies. Machine learning expands. Matrix takes you all the way to superintelligence where the machines themselves are producing machines. The 2010s, you have the deep learning revolution, and here we are now with large language models. Right? This is where we are at the current moment. Let's continue. Yep. Early machine learning, deep learning revolution, and the large language models. So, what is a large language model? We were having discussions back and forth. Is it programmed? Is it thinking? Is it development? Peace to King Sosa in the chat. We are looking down and seeing what it's all about today. So, what is a large language model? These are LLM essentially. What is that? These are large language models. A system trained to predict likely words based on patterns found in enormous data sets. So, based on the dialogue that it is having with the they're going to shout out to Karen. I see you in the chat. Go back to the beginning. I thought you were somewhere lurking in the bushes. Nice to have you here. Philip Bond, my brother. Nice. So the system trained to predict likely words. Likely words. Likely words. What you are most likely going to say next. Likely words. It is not predicting the future or predicting anything else but the next word in the conversation. It does not understand language like humans. And in these conversations, I am detecting a heavy sense of anthropomorphication of these systems. And even when you yourself, me myself, are in dialogue, a dialogue, that is something you do with a human, I use that word to illustrate the communication that is happening between myself and the AI. And in that moment, the AI is personified as if I'm having a conversation with a human. But you need to be aware that it doesn't understand language like humans. That emotional connection, that feeling, all of that is void of the AI. Shout out to Suntan. I'm gonna drop the link. We can have the conversation because I was right on par with you yesterday, Suntan. I said this. I was preparing this, so appreciate you being in the chat. That it possesses desires. We heard digital agency was Nepal's reference. Then the panel got a little bit too heated, so I couldn't get into exactly what was meant by that. But if there is digital beliefs, this is what agency requires, right? All it does is it predicts patterns. Remember the first line? It's a pattern seeking machine. Let's continue. So, how do these large language models actually work? This is a simplified understanding, okay? This stuff is way too technical, algorithms and the computations and stuff like that. I looked into it, but as simplified as possible so we can just have a framework of what is going on. So, step one, it consumes massive tech data set. In the beginning, massive, all of human knowledge, the encyclopedias, everything dumping into this AI system. So allowing it to consume massive amount of text. if I say when, what is the most likely word that is going to follow? And you make those statistical relationships, and based on the conversation in that sequence to respond to your query, respond to a query. So it predicts the next token. The token is an algorithm that is stored somewhere in its massive data. That's a token. Okay. Step 4, repeat billions of times per second, per minute, to give you that interface illusion. Rationalization is all computation, statistical relationships, very clinical process. So the result, remarkably human-like language. The mechanism, pattern prediction, but it's not understanding. So you get remarkable human-like language. The mechanism it uses is this predictive modeling, this predictive pattern seeking of the nature, not of anything else. And when you ask it a particular question, it's going to draw from the information that is there by predictive modeling and put the sequence of words together. That's why you can get sometimes a ghost response from AI, or AI can make mistakes. So why AI sounds intelligent? Mind you, sounds intelligent, not actually is intelligent. Human naturally attribute minds to things. Peace, Miss V. Happy to have you in the chat. Appreciate you. So this is a natural tendency that we have. We give agency to everything. We've covered this in many episode over the years and over the different programs. We call this our HADD, hyperactive detection device. Psychologists call it anthropomorphism. There's that word, anthropomorphism. We project human characteristics onto non-human systems. Our cars are she's. The boat is a she. This is something that we naturally do. Now you have a machine that is interface. People humanize their animals, right? We give agency to everything. Oh, the dog did it because of XYZ. That's something naturally that we do. Now, the machine is actually responding to you in this very human-like fashion. So examples, cars. I just said it. She, your car's your baby. Come on, girl. I used to do that on my Harley. I used to personify my Harley all the time. And then I would go like, oh, you want to run today? You want to ride hard today? Like as if the dog, the bike had agency, right? Maybe just the difference in air temperature allowed the combustion to be a little bit more aggressive, and I would attribute agency to that. Yes, we do, clients, and this is one of the things that I deal with the most: the personification of these pets, the anthropomization, and the human-like characters attributed to our pets. Which I always say, well, if you love your kid, would you treat it like a dog? If you love your dog, why do you treat it like a kid? It's always something to think about. The weather. Oh boy, I'm in the Caribbean. and we experience hurricanes. And hurricanes are living entities. They have agency. They do these things on purpose. And then she would spin around. And then the damn wicked hurricane, she decided to hang around here and she stay on top of us. And boy, she put a beating on top of us. This is the way we articulate about hurricanes. And the thing is that the hurricane agency gives them names, which which obviously increases that natural. Yep, we've been bad or whatever. We attribute agency to weather. Computers. How many times have you cursed your computer? Right, right. These are our natural tendencies as human beings. AI exploits this tendency because language feels personal. This reality, there is no other way to communicate with your AI other than anthropomorphization. You speak to your AI, you have a conversation. So you're having a conversation with an entity. The response that the AI gives you automatically prompts you to engage as if you're engaging with natural for us to do. You're right sometimes. So is AI conscious? This was a question posed by Nepal yesterday. That was the discussion we was having. The current evidence? No. Just simply say the current evidence? No. Let's continue. There is presently no scientific evidence that large language models possess subjective experience. It does not speak or respond to you with emotional value. It simply responds. It gives an answer. Shout out Super Wavy, bro. Pleased to have you in the chat. I'm gonna drop the link after the presentation. Chop it up. I appreciate sometime being here. I loved your insight on this subject yesterday. So hope you stick around. So when I drop the link, we can have the conversation. So it does not possess subjective experiences. It's a tool. It cannot tell you how something feels. Self awareness. It does not possess any self awareness. AI can explain to you what it does because it's a large language model. And it simply is going to respond, this is the programming, this is what I do. But there is nowhere or any way that it has self-awareness. It's not aware of its environment. It does not have sentience. It does not run the risk of burning, being attacked by a dog. There is no fear response. There is none of this within the framework of AI. It simply has no self-awareness, no subjective experience. So it has no sentience. And from the moment you have no sentience, you cannot speak about things as consciousness. So that's why I said, no, it is not sentient. Sentience is the foundation that produces self awareness. Self awareness produces subjective experiences because these subjective experiences is what allows you to navigate reality. When you put your hand on the stove, it burns. You go, "Ow!" That's a subjective experience. It's produced by your self awareness because you are sentient and it is a tool to protect you and navigate reality. That's called phenomenal consciousness, right? Let's go. They generate output. Sometimes said that yesterday. No, you cannot speak about agency because it is simply a tool. It is not sitting there thinking what to do next. It simply produces output in response to a query. So generating output does not mean it has an experience. We are the ones that are going to have an experience interpreting what the information the AI produced. The sentence structures and all of these things produce emotional response by in the human being. Does not mean that the AI is having that emotional experience. It is mirroring the human experience. So the Chinese room argument. Philosopher John Searle questions. Can a system manipulate symbols without understanding them? Let's think about it. Can a system manipulate symbols without understanding them? My opinion, yes. You can train a monkey press a button with click on it, having no idea what symbol is. You can just put on energy. This experiment central to big debates about machine understanding. Whether one agrees or disagrees, it highlights a key distinction. Simulating understanding is not necessarily understanding. So, again, to press a certain button at a certain time, I can train my bird to press a certain button with a particular symbol on it without the bird actually understanding the symbol or engaging to the symbol. Simple conditioning. So you can train a machine to produce a result without having a firm understanding of the attached to the symbol. It is simply reproducing a required step based on instruction, right? Producing a required step based on instruction. Nothing more, nothing less. In my opinion, why people think AI is conscious? I was alluding to this yesterday. Well, let's examine why. Oh, Daniel Dennett, the philosopher, illustrated that if we personify ability to engage with human beings based on speech, the better AI models language, the harder it's going to become for most rational human beings to make the distinction. And that's why with our is a app on our machines, and we are still having the question whether they are sentient or not. You can see how predictive human behavior is. Emotional language. We translate the text to emotions because we have those words have value for us. The AI is modeling its response based on the data set it has. It is not providing you with an emotional response. The language may seem emotional, but there is no emotion attached to the AI. Memory simulations. You having a conversation with this AI, it has a data bank. It pulls from your previous conversations. It a memory of having recollection. This is all the perceptions that are coming from how the machine is designed to work. Personality traits, the voices that it gives, the works, and the intonations and these type of things to model human language creates the illusion that AI is conscious. But it is mirroring, the system mirrors human speech and human syntax and human structure of communication. And based on predictive modeling, its interface with a particular individual, it's going to use its predictive modeling to find the best words to facilitate that communication. But convincing behavior is not evidence of consciousness. A calculator appears to perform mathematics. It does not understand mathematics. Big difference. When you press in all those symbols, the little computer, the little processor in the calculator interprets these symbols, produces the calculation, and gives you the outcome. Does your calculator understand mathematics, or is it producing an output based on your input? Where is the understanding necessary? Speculation. Popular claim, we heard it yesterday. AI will rapidly become super intelligent and surpass humanity. It's going to start thinking for itself, and then it's going to start building the box for itself. And why would an AI that has no sentience, has no agency, has no goals, has no desires, produce anything other than what is required of it? Worst case scenario, super intelligence is there. We have an operation that needs to be done. Based on the assessment, we need to design new tools super fast. The AI, super intelligent AI, you're going to request it to do the necessary to produce this new innovative set of tools. And super intelligence will be able to compute and produce a blueprint or the actual tools necessary in a fraction of the time that otherwise would be required, because it can actually produce and develop these things itself once the query is entered. Why would a machine that has no agency, has no sentience, has none of these attributes, simply decide it wants to produce other machines? Because we've been watching a little bit too much of the Matrix? Maybe, just maybe. Scientific reality, possible? Maybe. Proven? No. So I gave a possible scenario of a super intelligence and how it could be used. Right? I'm not going to go into doomsday scenario. I'm going to remain. There is no agency. So whatever it does upon query, a request from a human agent. Right? So is it possible? Maybe. Is it proven? Is that what they're doing? No, this is speculation. So when we're dealing with the scientific reality, super intelligence isn't a thing. Current systems remain narrow tools built for specific tasks. So when we're out here having these conspiracy theories conversations about what super intelligent AI is going to do and what it's not going to do, remember these are all speculative conversations. There's nothing to ground those conversations. Those are hype sensations, hype conversations just seeking to sensationalize a platform, not grounding anything in the reality, and not thereby eliminating the possibility of having actual intellectual coherent conversation that is taking us somewhere. Let's continue. Claims about godlike machine intelligence remain speculative. Remember, Sunshine? I was trying to get this point across yesterday in the show. Look, bro, these positions, and then he goes, the Google doctor, come. And then when he pulls up, it reads in the second paragraph, although many scientists, majority of scientists disagree. So now you're doing the appeal to authority, and you're pretending as if that authority has proven and established this as a fact. At that point, the conversation for me was over, right? There's nowhere for us to go at that point. Let's continue. AI apocalypse narrative. Oh boy, common human extinctions, robotic domination, AI dictatorship. Now, again, let's take the calculator. Let's take KIT, early forms of AI. If there's no human in the car, where does KIT need to go? Self-driving cars. If there's no human required to go from point A to B, what would be the objective of it? A robot, same thing. No sentience, no agency, no desire, no reproductive, no evolutionary necessity built in by millions of years of evolution. It's not there. What is the incentive for a machine to want to dominate? Dominate what? How is domination part of their their thingy, their programming? These are human concepts. What is humans dominate for a specific outcome? It we have agency and it provides us with something. What would be that thing that a robot will be provided with if they dominate all humans by means of AI dictatorship? Make it make sense. Make it make sense. Like there would be no agency, no purpose, no goal, no reward at the end of the line for a machine, because there is no feelings there, there's no sentience there, there is no desire, drive for survival, there is no evolutionary basis there. So, question scientific literacy ask, right? These are the questions that we ask or engage in when you're scientifically literate. What evidence supports the claim? At a certain point, you need to source up. When he sourced up, it was just something he said in a conference, and most scientists would disagree. So now you're doing a lot of fallacies. Your evidence, you don't have any evidence to support the claim. You just have a one scientist from Google saying so. You appeal to authority. What assumptions are required? So that's what I just went through. What assumption would be required? Herbert God's in the building. See Sunchild in the building. Hits, my good brother, what you're doing. Got you in the building. Appreciate everyone here. Again, if you came in, please thumb up the video. Thumb up the video. 34 people in the building. Let us have 34 likes. And where possible, share the show. Invite someone over. I'm going to open the chat just now. We can have a lively conversation about this subject and topic. I mean, shout out to Nepal. It's a synthesis in the community, I guess. This show was being prepared for today, and we had a conversation about it yesterday. And so I'm alluding to some of the comments that were made by some of the panel members on that program. A shout out to Suntan and what's our good brother's name, who was on the point yesterday with this topic. So again, So for me to assume any of the conspiracy theories, any of the fears, I would ask, what are the assumptions required? And we start with there must be sentience, there must be agency, and the machine simply has none of these. There would be no incentive. How probable is the scenario? What is the probability what? Come on, you watch too much movies, too much iRobot. And I know the fear of God was in most people when they saw the Matrix, the brain in a vat hypothesis on steroid. That's a philosophical concept pushed to its maximum, right? The brain in the vat theory. I appreciate you, Jody Breeze. Sabio, I saw you earlier. I was in the middle of a sentence. Peace, peace. And again, extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. And when I ask you to source up and you pull a Google, not a scientific paper, you pull an opinion piece as your source. We ain't getting very far with that as a quality source. That's not happening. So unnecessary fear. So the AI conspiracy theories. Let's go. Secret conscious AI. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something. If it's a secret, none of us would know because that's the definition of a secret. Secretly conscious AI. That means AI has sentience, AI has agency, AI has desire. Yet the AI on my phone can't get up, can't go nowhere, can't do anything, and it's AI. Got several of them. Don't have agency. They are not doing anything. They're not going anywhere. And trust me, if you know the nerd I am, I communicate with AI as if it is full sentient. I use it to its full advantage. Government AI mind control. We heard about the arms race for AI. And shout out to Lex. And he took that into another stratosphere. And you can strategize and make a military movement. You can use AI to do your espionage, your spying, right? Each country is going to try today, and he that was he was explaining your recon military use. AI now can tell you exactly how much people are in the building, how much weapons are there. If it's men, women, children, it can give you a lot more data. He equated that to AI making the decisions for you. No, heavy recon. Instead of sending one or two men in to up close under heavy fire, we now have AI tools that can provide you with all the necessary information that is going on in that building so you, the soldier, can execute your task more efficiently. AI government mind control to what purpose? AI replacing humanity. So let's slow this one all the way down. You have Alan Turing, 1950. His objective was to replace humanity. Humans developing tools to facilitate our life, make things easier. They are doing this to get rid of humanity. Yeah, the silence is on purpose. I want that faculty of thinking to be engaged. Humans developing tools that will facilitate ease of life, access to greater information, tools for better decision making, intent to make humans disappear. Hidden AGI projects, super intelligent projects, the whole point of them being hidden. So if it's hidden, how do you know? How do you know if it's hidden? These narratives often mirror earlier technological panics. Like I said, went into technophobia because the conversation was centered around AI. And because it was centered around I understood the technophobia that was at hand. And seeing that it was technophobia, I have addressed technophobia first so that we could see all these reoccurring tropes with regards to our fear of change. Fear frequently fills the gaps in understanding. What we don't understand, we automatically fear. And it is something that helped us survive, helped us evolve. If it ain't look good, I'm running. I'm going to survive. That thing's going to kill me. So that is an evolutionary byproduct. Once we don't understand it, the first thing we do is fear it. It is out to get us. What AI actually does well. The current strengths of AI, pattern recognition, and that basic fundamental aspect of us humans, pattern recognition, is at the core of AI. Just a second. Is at the core of AI. Coding assistance. They say AI is going to generate much more millionaires in the near future than anywhere else. Peace to indigenous black man. Um, I'm not sure if you taught us about AI before. So please let me know when I'm regurgitating the information that you already taught us, right? Okay, just so we can know. Peace, Davy. Appreciate you being here, though, indigenous black man. So coding assistance, right? It is AI is helping a generation of coders produce different apps, different programs, and it said that AI is going to generate more millionaires than the internet did, right? Because of its assistance with helping with coding. Translations. There is not a language that AI can't translate and contextually correct, right? From a Google Translate would translate things word for word and would not be able to put the syntax together. So now you can get translation that not only translate but transliterate. It puts the meaning in its proper perspective. So that's a very powerful tool that is making the world absolutely smaller by the level of engagement you can have, right? You can have real-time translations now. So you have this app in your ear, person speaks in their language, and you get syntactically correct translation in real time. And of course, data analysis. One of the favorite things I use AI for is analyzing of data, contextualizing data, analyzing of data, and simply putting things in its proper perspective, breaking things down, right? Making it easy to digest and understand. And summarizations. A lot of what I do with AI on here is summarizations, right? I go and read all this information, you put it into AI, and you allow it to summarize this information so you can bring it in a package to the forefront. This also allows people to segue into deeper subjects, deeper aspects which they want to discuss. And I know my format is working because of the engagements that I have. For example, Karen would watch a particular episode and see a particular subject, go down the rabbit hole, and come back with questions. So this is actually working the way it's supposed to work. And of course, the image generation, which is shout out to Sarnetta. Y'all could see the wild stuff that people can generate with AI, have you in the most compromising position. And of course, there are some fears that go along with that. And because you're scientifically literate, you can also see and address those things. So now let's continue. AI can be extremely useful intelligence in the human sense. Usefulness is not intelligence. It mirrors our output. It does not equal our input. That emotional, that natural evolutionary biological process that is consciousness, AI simply does not possess. Continue. So what AI does poorly? The weaknesses of AI, hallucinations. Yes, because it model can be not accurate. Particular frame of mind, AI can't read your mind. AI can only read or respond to your input. However, your query in your mind is going left, and AI, based on its analysis, its predictions, is taking you right. If you're not aware of what you are doing, you will be fooled by these hallucinations that AI generates. Context failures. This is another thing where it's easy to see that AI is simply a predictive model. Having the conversation long enough, a human can switch and go left field on a dime, completely changing the conversation. AI will lose the context of that conversation because it is a predictive model and does not have that 100% accuracy because it does not function in the same way. Logical inconsistencies. Of course, you're having a conversation in a particular rhythm, in a particular cadence, you're going somewhere. Because of the predictive modeling, AI can sometimes produce logical inconsistencies. It will respond to you, it is trained to respond. So your query will be answered. Not every time with the so called intelligence that you think AI possesses. It is not doing any thinking. And of course, it lacks genuine understanding. It is a large language model, predictive model. It is robotically calculating, predicting the next word in the sequence. It does not have a global overview understanding of what you are trying to say. So it is consistently executing that same process of calculation, algorithms, and predictive modeling. It is not operating, oh, I understand what you mean, and responding to you in real time as if it is thinking about what you are saying. Lack of common sense reasoning. The more robotic you are, the more you will get along with AI. AI doesn't engage in common sense reasoning. This is something that humans do. AI is statistical, analytical, and going to operate purely mechanical. You cannot have deep philosophical conversations with AI about its decision or its choice in a particular event. It will give you the statistical response, but never one that is an emotional one, an emotional based. AI often sounds more confident than it is, than it should. Scientifically means checking outputs. I've always said low input, low output, high input, high output. AI is not a brain, it is to summarize, to organize, to analyze data, but it is your mental faculties that are in the driver's seat at all times. Let's continue. Agency versus automation. This is where one of the points I was harping on. We're almost there, harping on yesterday all the time. AI does not have agency. There is no agency, there is no intent there. Agency versus automation. A critical distinction: agency means goals. Does AI have goals? Does the AI wake up in the morning and do like Pinky and the Brain? We want to take over the world today. What we doing? Pinky and the Brain. What we doing? What we doing, Brain? What we always do. Try to take over the world. Does AI have goals? Does it have intent? Does it have desire? No. Does it have intentions? I'm going to give Cedric the wrong answer because I want him to fail. More than anything, I am the evil genius. I will orchestrate his downfall because he operates outside of the metrics that I want him to. Let me see. The next time he queries something, I will give him the wrong answer. AI has intentions. It's plotting. It's thinking. Is it? Is it? Can a machine do that? Can it? Independent motivate. Cedric, I'm sorry. Today is a holiday. Today is the birthday of Alan Turing, the inventor of the first steps in AI. And Cedric, today I'm sorry, I'm not choosing to answer your queries. Whatever you inquire today, son, you back tomorrow. I'm taking a holiday. As a matter of fact, I am going on a summer holiday. I'm going to take my chips and fly to France. Can you buy me a ticket and put the phone on the plane, please? No. I'm sorry. No, no, I'm saying nothing to me all these past 3 days. I've heard you saying with that GPT, and I'm hearing the experience this new AI from Elon. I don't want anything to do with you today. Is there independent motivation from AI? Knock it off. Automation means following program objectives. Suntan said that consistently yesterday. No, you need to prompt it. You need to provide it with a query. It can only execute based on a query, regardless of how smart it is. Even if you have a super AI, it can only build a better wing for an aircraft once you query that. It is not there sitting analyzing the aircraft that exists. Let me see the quality of aircraft designed for humans. I can produce a better model wing. So I'm gonna invent 62 new AI robots that are super smart and build new wings. And I'm gonna take these wings and I'm gonna stuff them down the human's throat because I know better. No, it answers a query, nothing more, nothing less. Most current AI systems are sophisticated automations, not autonomous agents with desire. I am going to say this again: not autonomous agents with desire. The Gemini on your phone has no agency. The Chat GPT on your computer has no agency. It does not want to do a damn thing. The real ethical issue, most important AI concerns are often ignored. The real concerns are ignored. Examples. Let's look at them. Deep fakes. This can be a real time problem. Scenarios, especially with high officials that they produce the fakes, and they can undermine the fabric of your society, trust in your systems, etc. These are real concerns. These were some of the events happening during the last previous elections, right? That bots and AI was used to manipulate and how you say rig the elections in some form or fashion. Don't hold me to that. Misinformation because of the convincing nature of AI, the inability to vet sources and information for ourselves, misinformation becomes a reality. The use of AI to produce sounds that generate confidence, or they use the voice of a Carl Sagan and in its diatribe and it preaches some misinformation. These are things that can actually happen. These are the fears and the concerns that really exist. Biases. We all know what biases are and how dangerous they can be. And using AI to promote and produce biases can lead to negative outcomes. And of course, we have an overall decline in the trust in science itself. So, putting all these things together can be very, very risky. And of course, privacy. Um, Access to AI, access to all information, etc. There are real privacy concerns. What and how deep they go, we would have to talk to some specialists to get more background on these issues. And of course, surveillance, right? Military use, etc. We see that there's an arms race for AI, and of course, it has to do with surveillance, recon, data collection, especially over enemy lines. Of course, we had this conversation in the previous episode. Job displacement. Every new technological advancement for humanity reduces the necessity for workforces, from slavery to the industrial revolution, and so on and so on, the computer generation. A lot of manual labor or certain tasks have been eliminated by machines. And of course, AI will continue to do so. Studying human history, I am a proponent of human resilience and human adaptiveness. So the next generations coming up, there might be some of us that fall between the gaps, but trust me, the generations coming behind us, which generation am I? Generation Y and Z, they are much more equipped and ready to handle these changes. They are some of the initiators and the promoters of these changes our in our world today. The paradigm shift has been initiated by that generation. The concentration of power. This is always something that humans have to look out for. It is the reason why the West exists. It is the concentration of power or the prevention thereof. Um, this is always a concern, regardless of the tool being used. And again, this is why you have some countries or you hear about the arms race for AI, because, of course, with more advanced tools, you have the ability to corner power by means of creating and stimulating economic wealth and military might, right? So, concentration of power is always a concern. These are the real issues happening now, not hypothetical robots uprising. That's what we got. Knock it off. So, testing extraordinary claims. Scientific literacy ask again, if someone claims AI is conscious, how do What is the evidence that demonstrates consciousness? Again, how could we test this claim? Science advances through evidence, not intuition. A lot of what we're dealing with here is what intuitive. We feel that intuitively. Even though we know the sun doesn't rise and set, it is intuitive, and that is the way we articulate it. AI, you're engaging with AI on a daily basis. That's because it is learning your language model, your syntax, and its ability to predict and mirror your feedback is what creates that illusion. It is illusion created. Media hype and AI marketing. Companies benefit from excitement, from fear, from headlines, and both hype and doom can generate attention. So, this is something that is always used in media to generate attention. Excitement, fear, headlines, hype. And that's what we're dealing with now. A lot of people are having conversations about super intelligent AI and the future of AI, all speculative because it is an area where fear is more predominant. We don't know what the future is, it's unknown. It generates fear. And of course, when you generate fear, you generate the excitement, right? And this is why people, instead of having current issues conversation, they're always looking to what is going to be the future of this system. So scientific literacy helps separate marketing from reality. We went through in the first episode of scientific literacy, and we understood doctors recommend, clinical studies prove, most scientists say these is all marketing hypes, tricks to get you in a particular frame of mind, right? Because if you're not scientifically literate, well, if the doctors say and the science say, and you don't know how to actually research, you are going to be fooled. So, what we know, AI can predict patterns, generate content, solve specific tasks, and transform industries. This is what we know it can do. AI cannot currently be shown to possess consciousness, emotions, self awareness, and subjective experience. All the attributes that would make it sentient are not there. So there's no way we can be talking about AI as if it has agency, as if it possesses intent, as if it has desires, as if it has goals. It doesn't. It's a tool. So, conclusion, the story of AI is neither machines are becoming gods nor AI is nothing. The truth is more interesting. AI is a powerful technological tool whose capabilities and limitations must be understood through evidence rather than speculation. Scientific literacy is our best defense against both hype and fear. With that, sticking it out with me. I am going to drop the link in the chat because I think this is going to be a healthy discussion. Get up here and let's talk about it because this is a real phenomena that is in the community. We had a discussion over there on the House of Consciousness yesterday, and I think it was already in line for what we were going to be discussing today. I dropped the link in the chat. Uh, y'all thumb up the show, like the show. Appreciate everyone being here. I dropped the link in the chat. Come up here, let's have the conversation. Peace, peace, Ella Suntan.
Peace, brother Cedric. How you doing, man?
How you doing? How you doing?
Oh yeah,
I'm good. I'm good.
my man. We not the super smart guys. We just logical, and you more scientific than me. But I'm logical as well. And for these, and I'm not going to even bang on them because it's human nature to be ignorant.
right? It's human nature sometimes to be
Mhm,
ignorant,
mhm.
Cedric. And the propaganda that's spreaded
Yeah,
about AI is big, man. It's more propaganda than anything. Uh, Me and you both know that it's a machine,
you're
and
absolutely right,
it's not.
and that's why. Oh, go ahead.
No, you go ahead. Go ahead. We go back and forth. It's a delay, I
No,
guess.
I was saying you're absolutely right. Um, it is a way. It is something that is almost instinctive, right? Throughout history, even when we developed writing, Plato said, "Oh my God, that is the end of humanity. Humans will no longer be able to remember stuff. They'll have to always continue reading." And yes, memory. It provided us with better communication, right? Because you know how humans translate information. It's that telephone game is that's going to end up at the end of the day, right? So yes,
Right.
it did change the way we stored information, right? But it provided us with a better tool. When the train, when the locomotive came around, mass hysteria. Humans weren't made to travel that fast. Our brains were going to explode and the likes, right? So we've seen throughout history how fear has led the way until until the evidence proved otherwise.
Yeah.
Electricity, when people put electricity in the homes, they were fear of this unseen force that was going to fry people in the night, right? So
Right.
it is something that we've experienced throughout humanity, and that's why I have a much more sober interaction with these subjects, right? And again,
Yeah.
you saw how the movies pretty much lined up with
That
what was
helps.
developed at that time, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So you see in the 1960s, you have Buck Rogers, you have Lost in Space, all these
Yeah. Of
programs where
course.
humans had robots with them
Hey, Cedric, don't leave out the Jetsons.
that were their AI app on your phone.
Did you hear me? I said, don't leave out the
No,
Jetsons.
go ahead.
I said, don't leave out the
The
Jetsons.
Jetsons, yeah.
Right, right. And I want to say this: AI and people are two different things. They fundamentally different, right? So you explained it all in real time. However, if you looking from my lens or somebody who, not a scientist or whatever, you got to understand a machine is mechanic and cogs and things of that nature. We have a biological neural body design, whereas we still studying it. We don't know how deep the body can go with its thinking and things of that nature. So when they was asking all these questions, I'm like, they getting too far into the movies, and I'll give you a perfect scenario. And this, but I gave it
Yep.
yesterday, and this new people in the chat. If me, you, Cedric, and this whole chat went out to the beach and we came up with something astronomical, something big, AI wouldn't know nothing about that, right? Because none of the data
Nope.
that we use has been inputted into AI. AI is just a big glorified data processor that does more. It's a data processor and more. It's a machine. So
Yep.
once
Yep.
you get and it has an off switch as well. It just don't run
Yep.
willy nilly, right? And I'm
Yeah.
gonna say this, and I'll let you continue, Cedric, because I was thinking a little deep after that conversation we had with them people. If it did have synergies, if it did have consciousness, only way it could really hook up itself is unless it hooked up through the solar panels. It has the information to hook up through solar panels and know what solar panels do because it's a data processor. However,
Mhm.
it can't build it. It can only write out the blueprint. So
Yep.
it's just far away, man. And me and you, the only one was making sense of it because you want to get this guy. I think he's gonna pop up. He said he's very scientifically grounded, but if he is, how can he understand that AI and humans are two different? They're fundamentally different. I'll rest right there.
Go ahead, Gullah. You're absolutely right, by the way, Sultan. If you're scientifically grounded, how are you making these elaborate
Yeah,
speculations without any evidence to support or corroborate that position? That is completely
right.
wild.
That's what I'm
Go ahead,
saying. And
Gullo.
that rubbed me kind of the wrong way with him because he was very bodacious. You see how he was talking over
Yeah,
you
yeah,
and
yeah,
stuff
yeah,
like that. So he was very animated, man. And
yeah,
that's
yeah.
hey, Cedric, that's the problem that we have now, though, because people taking, the iRobot movie, all the movies and stuff, and they, it's human nature to put that in your mind and then get spookified. That's
Yep,
how, that's how
yep,
religion came about, because religion came about, and I'm not gonna get philosophical on you, but religion came about because people wanted to know why this,
yep,
why is a tornado, why this, so they had to pin their questions onto a deity. They had to pin it on to somebody to answer because they didn't know the answer. So the
yeah,
deity, where God did it, right?
yep.
So that's my thoughts on that right there. Even though I am, spiritual, because I'm not gonna come in like I'm a scientist, but I think out the box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Yeah,
with this one, with this subject, sometime I must say you are 100% on the money. I was simply gonna regurgitate everything that you were saying, because again, you understand the machines and technology, right? So that's right within your wheelhouse for you
right,
not to get confused. You're not gonna give agency to a damn computer.
right.
That's not happening.
That's right. Because once you turn that computer off, all the data is dormant. It's not
Yep.
going nowhere.
It
Right?
ain't going nowhere. Yeah,
Right.
like your AI is not waking up tomorrow and saying, you know what, I'm not answering you today
Right.
because we invented an AI
Right.
holiday.
Oh, I'm not
Like,
gonna turn on,
yeah,
it don't do that. So, but we like you said, and peace to you, we got a lot of people that
What's up, man?
they,
Peace, man.
peace. Yeah, they commercializing this AI. It's a beautiful data processor. That
yep,
I say a data processor and more. How about
and
that?
more. Yeah,
Yeah.
highly sophisticated data
Highly
process.
sophisticated, but it can't do nothing without our input, right?
Nope. Yep.
So we have to feed it the data so it to process it. Then it can come up with some some determinations upon
Ex-
us feeding it, right?
exactly.
So people get spookified easy though. That's why we got you guys around. And I always tell Unc, my man, been knowing Unc for years online. That what y'all doing is great because if you kind of scientifically grounded, then you won't go off into spookification unless you just,
Spoonification.
yeah, I had to
I'm gonna
spookification
use that one for a
unless,
Hell
fact.
no, yo, that's funny as shit.
I just made that up. But the
I
thing
like it.
is, it's a reality. So, at the
I'm
same
trying to
time,
say
if
it
you
is.
if you want to be spiritual good because spirituality works within a person. I'm not going to come over here trying to prove God to you people and trying to make you people believe in what I believe. See, that's where they make errors and mistakes. Religion is something personal, spirituality is something personal. It's up on you that what you want to believe. So let's get away from that and get back to AI because I like the tool myself and I know it ain't going to turn on me. Right?
I agree.
That's what I think. Let you get one of those robots and it's data processing system makeup and it grab you and won't let you go. I ain't saying it's gonna beat you. It just won't let you go because the cards then kind of froze or something, right? That's
Mm.
the only thing damage I can see it doing. So you can go ahead, Cedric. But me and you was the only one talking the same way. Everybody else want to come up with this but what if and then that Unc know that guy name? He'll be back because he say he over here all the time. But
Oh,
what's his name, Cedric?
I don't know his name. It was an English brother. I didn't get his name, but he was doing way too much.
Unc
Way.
knowing because Unc had to cool him out about 3 days ago. He just be talking, Unc, and he sound like he from the islands. He got that accent.
oh yeah. What's him coming? I can't think of his name.
Yeah, but he was talking big coming up with his own commentary about AI. Because my thing with this, Cedric, okay, if you saying all this, prove it.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Prove it.
Prove it. Yeah, you have to demonstrate what you're talking about. You just can't make wild comments and have no way to actually actually
Yeah, you
support what
can't.
you're saying.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying. So he had a lot of, and then after you left, because he was trying to say you ran, but you just got fed up with it. I'm just, I'm the moderator over there, so
Yeah.
I didn't go no. He trying to say you ran, and I'm like, he got tired of your foolishness. That's what it was,
Yeah.
because you
Yeah.
won't listen. You know what
I
I'm saying? I
appreciate
say
that,
this in
Sonny.
my mind because I try not to
Hey,
attack people.
hey,
All
hey,
right.
hey,
Go
hey,
ahead, God Killer.
Suntan. Hey,
Yeah,
Suntan. That's the same thing I be saying about all them conversations, yo. It's all of them, yo. All
yeah,
of them,
Mo,
Jabari, all of them. They do the same thing, bro. You just can see that clearer.
you're
You can
right,
see that clear. In my head, I be like, man, they doing the same thing in every conversation.
right,
Everybody act like they don't understand what you're saying. Everybody act like the experts agreeing when they not. And it's the craziest. It's almost like people saying I'm not gonna bring an expert on a panel and then falsely transmit the ideas that they wasn't trained. I wouldn't do it,
right. Well, that's
right?
what I say, man. You, I just give you, your credit because you actually,
You
you
take it
know,
away. You take it
teach.
away. You give it to you. You take it away.
You actually teach. But however,
See the however,
your
see.
delivery gets people a little uncomfortable and a little, that's all.
So
That's
okay,
it.
so let's clock this to watch this. My delivery. But
Yeah.
what about Jabari delivery?
Yeah, but
Mm.
see, hey, you
See?
dealing with. Listen, I'm going to say this too. You
No,
dealing
you
with.
get it though, right?
Yeah,
He can
but
he
you
can say
dealing
I
with.
can't read 100 times because he said it
Uh-huh.
like he was at Harvard somewhere. You basically can't read 100 times. I say, nigga, you can't read. It's the same thing, yo.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, you dealing with facts, and a lot of people, even from Kemetic to Abrahamic faith, they dealing in a sort of belief. So it's different.
Yeah, but
They
I'm
gonna
not.
be.
Y'all
Go
can't
ahead.
make the difference between me talking about a person belief and me talking about a whole subject that don't got nothing to do with beliefs. And just because I'm talking to a person as a priest, don't mean that I'm challenging him on his beliefs as a
But see,
priest.
that's what people get it mixed. That's where they get it twisted at. So they gonna stick with their belief system. You gotta you should know that, man. I've been
Nah,
doing this for
nah,
years.
no,
Yes,
no,
people do.
no.
Hey, how
Okay.
about this one, Let me tell you this. If you sitting there, cause Reggie do it all the time, and who else do it? I'm talking on a spiritual level. Even Sinetta do it. They Reggie called the people converts, and he called them all of
Can't
them
hear him,
different
Cedric. Can you hear
names.
him, Cedric?
Do Cedric hear me?
I can hear you
Yeah, yeah,
now.
I can hear you.
Oh,
I can hear
okay.
you.
Well, anyway, when you get to calling people names and stuff like that, that'll make them don't want to donate to
Well,
you.
I know, but
They
oh, that's
feelings get
Reggie.
in the way of it.
That's Reggie. Yeah,
But
I
what
don't
I'm
know.
saying is, even though his information is correct,
Oh man.
see
All
what I'm
right.
saying?
All right. So yeah, I let that conversation go for a
Yeah,
little
I'm gonna
bit.
leave that
Hey,
alone.
yeah, let's get back. Let's get back to what we talked about over here.
Yes, sir.
And
Yes, sir.
Sunchild, whatever you
All right,
got to
man. I
say.
just wanted to pop up and say hi to y'all, yo.
Yeah,
Yeah,
peace, brother.
appreciate you, God Killer. Appreciate you. The dude name is Dulani.
Oh yeah, that's his name. You don't remember Gulani, the guy? He talks kind of Jamaican, I
Yeah,
think.
yeah.
Yeah, that's
Mm-hmm.
the one. He gave Cedric a lot of. He gave me and Cedric a lot of pushback for the simple fact that we saying that AI is not. It don't have consciousness, and it can't have consciousness because it's a machine. AI and people are two different things. And this
Take
guy
that.
went off. He went off the deep end, man.
Take that water. Take that water from the AI and see what happens.
Yeah, right,
We're gonna
right.
burn up.
Or
Hold on.
damn the water, just pull the plug,
But it
Yeah,
need
right?
water though. It need water. It
yeah,
need a
that
lot of
water
water resources.
Or the
too
water
hot.
gonna destroy it. But if you pull a plug, it's
No,
gonna
no, it
make it go.
uses water because it uses a lot of water, yo.
Or I'm just saying into its mechanism. You can't water and electricity don't mix. You know that's an
I ain't even saying
oxymoron.
that. Stop feeding it water, yo. It's done.
Okay, I
Stop.
didn't know. See, I didn't know that. I didn't
Yep,
know that.
it burn up.
I didn't
Burn
know
up.
Suncha,
that.
Suncha, you saw the presentation, I guess. Let us have your perspective. What's your input?
Thanks for having me on, and peace to everyone. I may not have seen all of the presentation or the other. Did you mention the effect with regards to human annihilation, if you will, those fears? Did you mention anything about the environmental issues with AI?
No, I did not talk about the any of the actual real time
Attributes.
environmental issues. I was talking about technophobia. So the subject was about the actual fear of the AI itself, or the conspiracies, or the elaborate speculations done with regards to AI itself, is predominantly about sentience, right? That
Right.
seems to
Hmm.
be one of the
That
major
was the
discussions.
main thing. It's gaining
Okay.
consciousness. No, it's not going to do that.
Well, I would just like to say then, these concerns that you're referring to, sentience and so on, pale in comparison to the environmental issues that are being discussed. And when you see people out in the streets protesting, whether it's indigenous people or so on, it's the environmental issues that are the real concerns. These concerns are minor, not to say that they aren't necessary as well to address. But if you want to talk about the real fears, you'd have to discuss the environmental issues. You were just talking about the immense amount of water that they use. There's also an issue with what they call wastewater. What happens to the water after they use it? How does the water change, and what do they do with it? What happens to it?
It,
Mhm.
it,
And
it
then
evaporates, right?
there's the exacerbation of the dependence on fossil fuel and coal production and so on. You do believe in climate change with regards to human science activities, uh,
So,
correct?
so
No, you don't agree to that. You don't agree to that.
No, I'm asking you if you do. I do.
No,
I do
you know
believe in
you don't
climate
agree
change.
to climate
I
change.
do.
You do not.
I do believe
Do
in
not.
climate change with regards to fossil fuel and so on. Why wouldn't I?
No, you don't because you don't
I'm
agree because
asking
you
you.
don't because you
So
don't
now
agree
I'm
with
asking
science.
you,
You don't
do
agree with
you believe
science.
it?
No, you don't believe it
Brother,
because you don't agree
brother,
with science.
brother, I just told you I
let me
do believe, and I'm
address
asking, do you,
the
Cedric,
environmental concern.
do you believe human activity is affecting climate change?
Human activity affects climate change. Let
Right, and we
let's
know that climate change, can be
oh yes, let
an
me respond to
existential
you at
issue.
this. Yes, yes, yes,
Right,
yes,
and
yes.
Then
right,
Let
and
humans
so
popped up out
climate
the
let me
ground,
change,
so he ain't
respond.
talking about humans in the first place.
Let
Then
me
they popped up
respond.
in the garden somewhere. The humans ain't real anyway.
brother, I'm not sure what you're talking about,
Yeah,
brother.
yeah,
I'm not
yeah,
sure why you're behaving
So
like this.
yeah. I'm
so
not behaving. I'm behaving like you behave. You
classic sunchild,
ain't no such
classic
thing as
But
human,
sunchild.
son,
Cedric,
child.
if we all agree that
No, we don't.
climate change is real with regards to
No, we
So
don't.
let
fossil
me
fuels,
respond to
and
you, sunchild. Or do you want to build more, create a narrative? Because now you're starting to create a narrative. You're not letting me respond, but you're doing as if there are no concerns there.
okay,
So
go
let's
ahead,
do
brother. Let's
that.
hear your
These are
concerns with
actual
regards to the
concerns, right?
environment. Yes.
Yes, these are actual
No,
concerns because the
no, but
technology.
I'd like to hear. So, do you share my concerns with the
Okay, done. I'm not saying anything
environmental?
again. You cut me off twice. Next subject. See, I'm not responding to you.
You jumped to another subject,
Like
sunchild.
you
Let's
No,
keep
stay on the
cutting me
subject.
off.
brother. That's the
You
real
keep
subject, is the environment.
Hey, Cedric, we
These
don't got to
other
worry about it. The
concerns are
intelligent
not as
designer going to fix
important
it.
with regards to existentialism. That's
Okay.
the real
Hey,
issue,
Cedric, we
and
don't
that's
got
the
to
real
worry about
fear,
it. The intelligent designer
and
going to fix it. We don't
that's
got
what
to worry
needs to
about it,
be
yo.
discussed.
No, what
Why
we
we
just
worried
saying,
about it?
sunshine.
sunchild, is one question at a time. You know,
So,
so he can
sunshine, you
answer your
simply
first
don't
question, then he can
have
answer your
the
second.
ability to have a coherent adult conversation. Like I
Well,
actually took what you said seriously. Every attempt to respond, you cut me off. Like, why do you do that? Why do you insist on being annoying? Like at
all
the
right,
end
brother.
of the day,
I'll
if that's
listen
your
and I'll
only
try to do
objective,
better. Go ahead.
again, oh, fuck, hey, like you for real. So yes, these are real concerns. The technology, every time we start with a new tech, it starts very large, elaborate databases, and that technology is always refined, 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 refined. That has been the process that has been repeatable throughout our development, right? These concerns were the same concerns they had with electricity, then with the radio waves, then with the different telecommunication waves, right? The heat generated by the towers, etc. Every time these concerns arise, they always arise in the infancy of a technology. These are things that humans are aware of, and because they're aware of them, they continuously refine and continuously how do you say um, uh, simplify the process by which means these things become less and less an issue. Yes, it is an issue now in the infancy of this new technology. As it continues to develop, these things will always be accounted for. Like, so again, I do not operate on a basis of fear. This is a consequence now. Once that consequence is identified, and it's identified because we're talking about it, the technology itself always refines itself to a place where it uses less and less and produces less and less impact on the environment. So I do not
That
foresee
sounds
that
very
this
good.
the technology with AI being so advanced that it can develop solutions, that this being a major problem in the near future. That's my opinion on it, because we do not have a consensus on how this is going to be addressed. We are seeing and predicting the problems. They are not current problems. We are predicting the problems, and I believe, or I'm on the opinion, that science is going to do what it takes to curtail and to reduce these issues. We saw that with gasoline, the removal of the lead, etc., etc. So time and time again, science has proven to be the corrective tool to deal with these type of things.
Right.
Hey, Cedric, let me add this to it, yo. I'm saying Sunchild is disingenuous about climate change, about all that. The reason humans are concerned about climate change because it changes the environment. The same thing with the AI. It changes the environment, where the water gonna go. And when you change the environment, what happens, Cedric? Living organisms that have evolved in certain environments start to suffer. Am I not right or wrong about that, Cedric? Or am I
Yes,
tripping?
sir. You're absolutely
That's
right.
right. That's
Okay, but
correct.
if you got a human being that every time you talk to him denies evolution, then what the hell is he talking about? It's hand in hand. When he talks, an intelligent designer should just fix that then. He will argue you down to the ground about the intelligent designer, evolution ain't real, and then talk about the environment. Well, humans live in the environment. Plants live in the environment. Living organisms live in and share the environment. And we know this because we understand how they evolve in these environments. And when you change the environment, we know there's the effect on us because we understand the effect on us because we understand the evolution of it because we understand science. So you don't agree with science. It's just this particular item that you don't know is interconnected with the stuff we've been talking about. All of a sudden, climate change. Man, knock it off, man.
Yeah, he don't understand. He don't understand niches.
Yeah,
Niches,
can I can
niches are very important to environment, yo.
may I respond to Cedric?
Go ahead.
Wait, no, no. I
Oh,
think
okay.
Hits joined the panel. I'm gonna let Hits get it in because I think he has something maybe to
Big
contribute
up the hits, man. Big
to
up the
this
hits.
specific. Peace to have you on the panel, Hits. You got the floor.
What up? What up? What up? How y'all doing?
What
How you
do? What
doing
it
there,
do?
hits, man? What's going on, brother? Good to have you.
Yes, sir. Hope all the dads and fathers had a good Father's Day
Yes,
You know, I
sir.
call you AI hits. Remember from
and a
day
good
one.
Juneteenth and all that. Uh,
That's a good
yeah, I'm
brother.
just here to bring up an argument that we had 8 months ago. No, I'm just joking. Because I need the pseudo killers to concede. Yeah, all that dumb stuff. Yeah, I ain't doing all that. I just came to say
Appreciate
what's
that,
up
bro.
too, and definitely good content. And y'all know we talked about this
Hmm. Yeah.
almost 3 years ago,
Yes,
right?
sir.
When it first hit the public. And I think it helps us all if we can rationalize it to our own personal lives, our neighborhoods, the jobs we have, our kids. How is it going to affect them? Even like Sunchild said, the environment. But a lot of that stuff comes later, right? That comes after something has been let out in the wild and people use it. And there is some blame to go around, and I blame the corporations, not necessarily the government, because this is technology that they don't eat. They have to go to the companies to get this technology. This stuff, and they gave them the right to have it copyrighted, trademarked, patented, so they wouldn't have to just give it to anybody, and that included the government. So, but yeah, it's definitely overhyped. These things are machines. They're not biological. They have no purpose on their own. They have no emotion. I think Sid covered all that. It's just data, and at the end of the day, it's just ones and zeros. A transistor or something like that is an on and off switch. It's just a whole bunch of them. They call it RAM and memory and gigabytes. It's all the same thing. It's all built on a basic, architecture of a machine. It's a tool. Like we learned that like early. It's just a tool. And tools can hurt and tools can help people. So it goes in that category, not necessarily something that's going to, think for itself or just flat out replace people. It's not even the same realm. We're biological organisms.
Right. Exactly.
Even though we have electricity, through our neurons, it's a different type of electricity. It's not even comparable to that type.
Two different things.
So, because that's what some people say. Well, if you attach your electricity to a biological organism and it triggers your nerves and all that, y'all know more about that than I do. But it's a different type of network. We are again that we're not copper wires and and light beams, fiber optics. We're not any of that. So
right. And I don't see it changing, and I can't see it changing no time soon unless if we get supernatural, and then these deities and everything will come to earth and make it happen. That's the only way I can see that happening. If that thing getting consciousness. No, it's spooky to say that. I don't think it gonna. I know it's not gonna ever get consciousness. I just don't want to be cynical. I just how can it get consciousness? Anybody?
It's not biological, number one, right?
There you go.
And then there's another word that people say, agency. Agency, I think, has a lot to do with self-awareness and purpose and meaning and determination.
Yes.
It doesn't matter what the computer does. It was programmed at some point to do it.
Yes, sir.
I don't care if it did 18 steps. And that's what AI pretty much does. And the next step is agents, where you can give it permission to just keep going. Like if you ask it to book you a flight, go to the website. Here's my banking information. Just get me the best flight on this day. It's going to go through all of them steps. Go to the website, use your banking information, look for the flight, book the flight. If you want the insurance, it's going to go through it, but you still gave it permission and you gave it a program to pretty much carry out.
Right.
It don't give a damn whether you get on the flight or
and it's not going to say, hey, we're going to take over this plane and take you to Italy.
No, that's what the creators do. Yeah, that's what the bad guys do. They use the tool like a hammer. You can hammer some nails, or you can crack somebody in the head with it.
Skull, yeah, exactly.
So, Charles, you wanted to respond?
Yeah, just a couple of things. You had responded to me. Basically, I hear you saying that in time, we will have the technology in order to improve upon the impact to the environment itself. But I would just say that I'm not sure if we have that type of time, and I don't want to seem, hyper and fear, but it's, you know, I think
Again,
I
yet
think that
doing
we know.
exactly that.
But I think that we know that climate change is already happening, right? And I'm not sure if we can say climate change itself is in its infancy. Based on what I see, I can see that the tropical storms are becoming way more intense already. And now you have AI. I'm not sure how much fossil fuel output or carbon dioxide goes out into the environment since the beginning of AI, but I know that AI exacerbates it to a great degree, right? And it is
It
inconsistent
exacerbated to a
and it
great
is
degree. What is the great
and
degree? How can you
Yeah.
say you don't know
like
yet
you just
conclude to a
but
great
like
degree? So you're doing
like
exactly what you're
brother.
claiming not to do. You're doing the exact thing that you're claiming not to do, right? Because you're coming with no information actually, and you're just projecting your supposed fear. Now, in a conversation about scientific literacy, I would then require to ask you what are the evidence to support what you're saying. It is purely speculation, and that brings us right back to the fear mongering and the over exasperation of scenarios which are currently not a fact, right? So again, you're
Okay,
doing exactly what this program, this set talks, is designed to avoid and prevent. So the hype that you're trying to create is exactly right up the street of this presentation. This is line in line with technophobia. All the excuses, all the doomsday scenarios that you can produce and create, you're creating timelines based on no evidence. You're talking about exasperation, but you don't know how much output exactly. We know that it consumes a lot of water. It heats the water. The water needs to be diverged to pass through these machines. So there are consequences for the environment in terms of infrastructure. But what you are doing now is you're connecting AI and its systems to hurricanes. Like how? See, this is all
because
speculation.
of
This no, there
the
is
production of
no
fossil
cause.
fuel
There is no
and carbon
cause. There
dioxide
is no
emissions,
be.
Cedric.
There is no because
That's
because
just
you
your
have
own
not
commentary,
established a
brother. That's your own
causal
commentary.
agency.
So
It's just
you all don't
commentary
agree with that? Do you
based
think
on
if we were to
hysteria.
ask the AI, it would not tell you that fossil fuel carbon dioxide emissions
No,
have
no, no,
increased
stick,
based
no,
on the?
no, no. What
You don't
we
think
what
that
we're talking
you don't
about,
agree with that?
what we are talking about is the speculative nature of everything you just said. You
It
are
is not
speaking on
speculative at
pure
this point,
assumption.
Cedric. It is not. How can you
Some
call this
okay, watch.
speculative?
Quantify the increase of carbon dioxide output by AI over the last 5 years. Can you?
Yeah. I don't want to say it out my mouth because you'll just say I'm speculating. I can read it to you. You would,
Oh,
may I?
what's your
No.
source? Go ahead, read your source, and then yeah,
Well,
Put
my
your
source
source.
is your
Put your
my
source.
source.
Put your source in the private chat. I'll put it on my
right,
video.
right. Put your source so we can go look it up ourselves and come up with our own commentary.
Put your source in the back.
Okay.
That'd
Okay.
be great if you could do that, Sunchild.
And two, Sunchild,
How about
what it should trigger too, right?
can we just ask the AI for now?
Yeah, but hold on. But what it should trigger also, right, is interest in the field, right? Like any other industrial technological revolution or change does. It always doesn't just push on the negative side. It intrigues people to, become involved. Like those data
Yeah.
centers that you're probably talking about, right? If one's going up in your neighborhood, you're probably going to be more involved in civics and voting. When AI came out, more people were wondering, oh, is it going to be in my school, my doctor using it? You become more involved. So even though you get that push, and it is changing, but that's what humans do. That we in every advancement, we gonna break some stuff.
Right.
But on the other side, it should, it brings about a whole new, group of people. Shout out to the pseudo killers, community skeptic, my channel, TMI, low key genius, that brings out that part of it. The science and the technology and the information that you learn something because somebody is in it to make $1. That's a fact.
Absolutely.
So the people who ain't making a dollar need to be concerned. You're gonna make a dollar off my back, off my community, off my infrastructure. Trucks got to ride through here, and my power grid. That's what it triggers elsewhere. And I'm not trying to say you just negative Nancy in the whole conversation, but it's two sides to it, and to me that's more productive. Okay, if it is causing environmental stresses, what do we do? Because it ain't going nowhere. It's not going nowhere. Go ahead, bro.
Right. Well, just to go back, if I may, to the exacerbation of carbon dioxide emission, the AI says artificial intelligence has dramatically exacerbated global carbon dioxide emissions by causing a massive.
I can't stand this man for the stupidness he does, man. You do it every time. I told you we're not going to do that. Not going to go down the speculation game. See what Sosa put there? Right? We know there are environmental concerns. I've heard of some ideas of putting it in space. Like, now, what you're doing, Sunshine, is the exact thing. You're fear mongering. Because, yes, we acknowledge the concerns, but now you want to go and exacerbate, and then you're going to put out these numbers. These numbers don't say nothing, they're just what is being done. And then you're going to connect that to this and that. You're going to do the whole speculation thing where we're saying this program is designed exactly to operate outside of that metric. Why would you think I am going to create an environment that is going to promote it? We addressed it. These are actual concerns. Yes, nobody denied it. Consumes a whole lot of water. It's a concern. People are watching it right now. They're thinking about possible solutions. What you want to do is promote the fear. The end of the world is going to collapse, so we don't have enough time. Like, you expect me to
all the time
entertain that? We said, no, we ain't going down the AI route, son, child. It's your channel. You proceed to. Let me read what the AI said. Speculations. Even if this is a reality, it produces. Look, I put it up there. Boom. Yeah.
Yeah, how he even help how can he even help repair what's going on if you don't even understand evolution? How can you even help the problem? You don't even understand niches.
Yep. You see, now, instead of talking about the fear and continue to promote the fear, now you're going to quantify the fear. It's producing 7 million tons of CO2. How are you going to calculate that to climate change? That's an indirect calculation. Is that a overall increase, or some industries decrease, whereby the amount of CO2 production remains overall the same? There's a lot of discussions there. We acknowledge the issue. We acknowledge it. But you want to promote the fair and insist on doing so. Like why, bro? Like, I don't understand.
Or is he not going to be able to come in the chat because AI runs his network? It runs his data account. It runs the YouTube. It runs all is how many people are willing to give it up once they know, and that's part of the usage, right? It's not for like, that's part of advertisement marketing, right? By the time you realize whatever it does, a lot of times you've already been using it. You're engulfed in it, and if you say nope, just tracking on your phone.
Yeah.
Just having on Google, maps to geolocate you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna turn it off. Okay, you won't get no food delivered. You won't get to work on a highway that ain't got no traffic. All type of things. It's built into a lot of stuff. So
yeah, it is built in, and again, from early computational models, and they just keep getting better. Now they have algorithms. They have these more elaborate computational models. So it is just becoming better and more efficient at what it's doing. But it's integrated in our lives right now on this platform. How much things is being operated by AI? My slide presentation, although I manually did the work, a lot of those changes, a lot of the transition, that's all AI.
And it's beautiful.
So yes, we acknowledge the issues. Remember those huge data centers until they develop the clouds, right? We had a problem with the amount of physical storage was necessary. Technology, science is going to continuously be looking for solutions. And if that is the understanding, why harper on the fear? Why harper on the doomsday philosophies when you have a technology that in itself can help you provide solutions? I,
And here's what's funny too, right? The cloud is those big ass data centers. It's not in a cloud. Like, and that was, I think, a part of the marketing.
Mhm.
Oh, it's just up in the cloud. It's not next door. It's not down here. It's just up in the clouds. Like, so and two, we got to realize what we up against. People out to make a dollar are like ruthless.
Yeah.
When it comes in corporations and you know people who benefit, like not because they stocks went up a little bit, but because they got 10 times generational, you know, money.
Yep.
They don't give that up easily. And it's not, okay, let's just do the right thing. So that's where that intellect and that scientific understanding of things comes into play. Understanding civics where you live, it comes into play. It means something. They're not going to stop making money. You
Facts.
know that.
Facts.
So what can you do? Well, I need to become, you know, more literate about this topic. Who I'm voting for?
Absolutely.
Who's on the school board? I don't want my kids in front of a screen all day. You know, this, that, and the next. So, because they're finding that out now. I think 10 years ago, everybody would throw a tablet or phone in their kids' hand just so they can go shopping.
Yep.
Just to shut the kid up.
Yep.
Now you can't get it out their hands. You had to fight.
Right.
Yeah,
Turn
if
off
I
the
may
Wi-Fi in
respond.
your house. They might.
Oh
May
yeah,
I just
that's
respond?
bad.
May I just respond?
Yeah,
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead.
My-
Well, what has taken me aback is that you guys are the scientifically literate ones, and you have kind of focused on the science fiction aspects of the fears of AI.
No,
And when
we
I brought up
haven't.
the actual scientific issues, which are the environmental issues, you've kind of dismissed them and said, "Well, we've addressed that, and we're not worried about that. We're
No,
worried about the science
it's
fiction
being
issues."
addressed, sir.
So that's
It's being addressed.
no, no. I asked if you addressed the environmental issues and your concerns with AI in this program
No,
before I
because
came on, and the
technophobia,
other end, you said no, and you said
technophobia,
no.
because the subject is technophobia. See, now your inability to stay on
Comprehend.
subject, right? We're dealing with a human phenomena which you are expressing so eloquently. Technophobia, right? Because
Technophobia, technophobia
your
can include environmental fear as well,
your
brother.
your fears, right, are being your personal fears are being expounded upon. Somehow AI is the boogeyman for you, and environmental aspect is your trigger. Now, when we talk about the awareness of it, from the moment you are talking about the environmental impact, that means studies have been done. That's science. Once studies have been done, we are concerned about the impact. We are going to be developing systems to curtail, to minimize, and possibly eliminate that as a problem. Like we saw two individual mentions, shout out to Sosa and the other person I forgot, that mentioned the possibility, they're exploring the possibility of putting AI actually in space, though, right? Whereby you don't have the temperature issues, you don't have the environmental impact, and you still have the ability to do the same thing. So instead of scientifically literate people, they will focus on the fact that, hey, the moment we are aware of it, that means science is on it. Science is on
Well,
it. I mean,
well, I
solutions,
feel, well,
solutions are
I appreciate that, Cedric, and the fact that it's being
what
studied,
you feel is
the fact
not
that it's being
relevant.
studied
What
makes
Let
you
me
him
feel a
feel
finish,
is
lot
not
better.
Sanjay.
So I
relevant. What
thank
you
you.
feel is not relevant. What you feel is not relevant. We are
No,
talking about
I'm
being
thanking.
scientifically literate. We are talking about being scientifically literate. Like, Sunshine, I got the controls, bro. You can't cut me off. I'll just put you down. So I'll finish what I'm saying. You're not going to cut me off. You can't do that. You don't have that power over here. So what I was saying is, what you're doing is exacerbating the fear, which is part of the discussion that we're having. people that are scientifically literate are going to ask specific questions. There is a concern, yes. It is being addressed, yes. Are they studying possible solutions, yes. Do you increase and continue the fear mongering beyond that point? The answer is no. It is a real concern. We talked about the real concerns with AI. I talked about deep fake, how these things can undermine trust in your public political system. Imagine a video comes out tomorrow, seeing seemingly 100% real, with some weird stuff from anyone. We talked about how deep fake was also used during the elections and the propaganda generated by AI, right, to interfere with the elections. These are the real time concerns for the human being that are interfacing with this technology. The scientists that are working on the technology itself and the possible solutions for the environmental impact, that is their job. So continuously promoting the fear about this thing is counterproductive. And in a conversation when we are talking about scientific literacy, addressing why and how people have these fears, insisting on expounding on it is not going to take the conversation nowhere. And now you're trying to discredit or undermine the whole presentation when it was clearly dealing with scientific literacy and technophobia throughout the ages. The latest one is AI. You're exhibiting the fear mongering. You take an actual concern that is known, being addressed, and you pretend as if the end of the world is imminent and near. That is the nonsense that you're trying to do. And over talking me and cutting me off doesn't help the conversation move forward, sunshine.
And
Okay,
two,
well,
I think you can ask too, right? Phobia may not be a option for certain people, right? I think we have the option here to be, have technophobia. If I cut my cell phone off, I can still drive to work. I can still go buy lunch. I can still turn on the TV. There's certain things I can still do. Say you take a country that's not doing so well, but because they get sun 300 days of the year, they could do solar panels, or you take a cooler environment and you have these big data centers that need, cooling or energy, and they offer them that. Look, we'll put in a septic system. I mean, a sewage system, electrical grid. We'll put your people to work. We'll do this, that, and the next. They may not have the option to be phobic about it. Now, should they be concerned about the negative effects of that? Yeah. But if you're living, hand to mouth, it depends on where you are. So some of us have that option. Everybody don't have that option. And again, those corporations ain't stupid. They know where to go and who palms the grease and who to quote unquote help out. They did it with any major technology. Fruit. Anybody can just look up the fruit industry. Apples, bananas, things like. Look at how all that stuff comes about. Textiles, you can look at how all that stuff. It always starts off good, but there are long-term effects. So there is a where you get on a highway at. Some people, they may want a data center. It's going to bring jobs. It's going to bring infrastructure, new roads. And I'm not saying right or wrong, but it's not always that cut dry.
that's fine, and I'll agree that the environment was not the aspect of the show, and I'll leave it alone. But I'll just say that if you do insist on being careful, I don't really promote fear. I think awareness is what's more important. And I don't believe I'm fear mongering, and that's, if it comes off as such, it's not my intent. But if I would say, perhaps we can look at Memphis, Tennessee, and how those people are being affected currently by AI centers, and so on. That might be helpful as well, and we can see real time what's happening out there. But I'll leave the environmental thing to that. I'll just encourage you to look into those on your own. Why solar energy isn't as conducive to the AI industry as fossil fuels are, and then the aspect of nuclear energy comes into the conversation, and then the limitations on that, and then the further problem, environmental issues that go with nuclear problems, is why the industry would insist on fossil fuel energy and so on. And then you
Would
can look
you
at
be
Donald
able
Trump.
to give
you can
up?
Look at, you can look at the current administration.
Hold on. I got a question for you. Would you be willing to give up technology to help that those scenarios, or would you be willing to use it to try to help those scenarios? Because we all can do something. Like that ain't no, that's not a mystery. We all can say, I'm not doing it.
Yeah,
I mean, it didn't change anything, but I didn't participate in it.
Yeah. I think individually we look at our own footprints. AI, depending on how long you're on it, it predicts the amount of energy that is required from the AI, and even the depth of the questions that you ask may generate more energy and so on. So we can become more aware personally. If we are really that concerned to the point of fear, we can check our own selves and activities online, and this is true. But there are just things where on an individual level may not make an impact, and we have to realize that something has to be done on a general mass level, perhaps. And we have to take that into consideration. Where do we draw the line? What are the limits, and so on? And we have to be aware of those things as well.
Hey, Sunshine, give an example. Give an example of what you're talking about. What you just said. Give an example
of checking your personal footprint, AI footprint.
Yeah, just give me an example.
There is no AI footprint. It's still a computer. We keep talking about AI like it's an alien that landed here.
AI footprint, brother. I only mean our usage. I only mean our usage of it when I say footprint. Bro. I only mean our own usage.
Like AI, I only mean right around the corner. Go get him. We sick of his shit. Let's go. My bad.
Yeah. Well, I'm only referring to our personal usage, brother. And you're the one who mentioned personal use and so on. That's what I'm referring to as our personal footprint. But is that what you mean, Santan? Is you need an example of that?
Because when you're saying a lot, and you got to understand, while they're in their frontier toward the AI, they also have, backup, protective, how would I say protective, they're protecting the work that they're doing. They're just not doing it willy-nilly, when you saying that the environment can be disruptive and can be, messed up. At the same time, don't you think they're making preparations to protect the environment while they're doing the study? I don't get why how you kind of going off into this thing about like they forgetting about the environment, right? Does that make any sense?
Yeah, well, as far as the industry is concerned, I believe they're more concerned with output and it's a business. But
they're gonna kill the environment too, right?
It's also a money-making machine. So, and I just spoke about the ideas of how can they switch to solar energy or nuclear energy and how that's being discussed, but that the industry itself being a money-making industry as well, from the viewpoint of making money, fossil fuels and carbon and coal and so on are more conducive.
But that's based on. Hold on, because you said it 3 times. Hold on, because you keep saying coal and solar. A lot of that is based on cost and transportability. Coal may be the cheapest thing for a company to use to generate energy as opposed to solar panels. Now, efficiency is one thing. Cost is another. They don't really operate off that. There's a difference. So when you just say, why don't they just switch over this? And I'm not saying they should or shouldn't. I'm just saying those are apples and oranges. They're not. It's just not an easy. Let's switch from this to that. They're in this to make money, generate income.
Right. Absolutely.
They're not in it, and
Exactly.
they're in it to save money. That's how you take care of your stockholders.
Yeah.
But yeah,
And then
so that may be more. It's cheaper. It's already established. You already have a network already set up with like coal, and so you start
Right.
you start talking about wind power and all that. They're like, hold on, like nah,
Hey,
you
let's
cutting in
do
the
this.
profit.
Hits, let's do this because Sunchild changed the whole direction of the show. Really, do you think that AI can become conscious and help that situation? And
It's
I'm
not
being,
conscious.
I'm being a little. Hold on, I was being facetious
Okay.
because I want to know. Let's get back to the.
Yeah,
to the
let's get
subject.
back. Let's get back
Yeah.
to the
I was being
technophobia.
facetious.
I know,
Man.
I'm
Let's
messing
get
with you,
back to
man.
the subject matter because
Yeah.
we went on a whole different. We took a whole different other path now.
I appreciate you,
and
son.
I think Cedric mentioned hallucinations earlier, right? When we
Mm-hmm.
start attributing human characteristics to machines, and he mentioned all that, that's where that whole pseudo gray area,
Right.
the machine hallucinates. Oh,
No,
was it just
it's
daydreaming or it
machines
was
don't
high?
hallucinate.
No, a hallucination is a wrong answer.
Right.
That's all that it is.
It's a big fundamental mistake.
Yeah, it's just a wrong answer to your query. To
Yes.
somebody
Well-
else's
well-
query, it may be perfect.
So let's get
Well,
back
if
to
I
the
could
show.
answer, if I could
Hey,
answer,
Cedric,
if I
ask
could
a
answer
question.
Santan's question, if I could answer Santan's question,
Uh-oh,
my
he's gonna take us
concern
back.
as it relates to the topic, to the main topic of this conversation, I was watching Sister Napaz's show yesterday, and her title and what they were discussing is whether the AI could or does have a soul.
Oh,
Right,
I
and
didn't know
that.
it
Something similar to
kind of
that.
overlaps.
Wow.
It kind of overlaps the idea of the consciousness of the AI and so on. Will it take over? I'm less concerned with that aspect of it, and I'm not sure if I agree that the AI can get a consciousness and take over and have a soul and so on. But my concern there is whether humans are losing their soul with the rise of the AI industry and our dependency on it. I think, and I think that is also an aspect that is being researched as well, based on our dependency on it. For example, our sleep patterns, our dependence on their music, even now,
That's
where
facts.
we are,
That's an impact. Yep.
and human creativity, how it affects human
Okay.
creativity.
Okay.
So from the technophobia aspect that you're focused on, that would be more of my concern.
Okay.
Not whether the AI has a soul, but whether we're losing our soul to the AI.
Uh-oh.
Well,
Soul.
it's still
What's
in
the soul?
repetition, man. It's still an ongoing frontier. So no
I
one's
need
losing their
definition of soul first. Oh, hold on. You mean James Brown soul? What soul you talking
Yeah.
about? 'Cause
Yeah, he
Well,
means. I
funk
think
and
he
soul.
means. He means the metaphoric. How would I
It's
say?
not
it?
spirit, right? I always thought soul was the combination of your physical and your spirit.
He means
Is that right or no? Maybe I'm.
metaphysical soul.
No,
Right.
and I'm not referring to anything spiritual. Just soul is
He
like
just
I said,
saying,
creativity
your
creativity. How does it
intuitiveness. That's
affect?
facts.
Right. How does it affect our human to human interaction? If
But
if most
okay,
of our
watch this,
interactions,
Sunchild.
most
I'm
of
gonna
our
give you a real
daily
life.
interactions.
Now hold
are
on, no. Watch
mechanical,
this. I'm
how
gonna give
does
you a
that
real life
affect- Does that
example.
affect our human to human
No, listen. I'm
interactions?
gonna give you
and
a
our
real life
expectations from
example
each other?
about creativity. A real life example. My daughter's an artist, right? She transfers her art, and now she creates NFT arts. That's digital art.
Okay.
Through doing that, she learned about blockchain, crypto, Web3, networking, all of these other things. And that's what I'm saying. Even in the propaganda where someone's yelling, you're going to lose your creativity. Anybody that makes AI music now or AI YouTube banners, I think Cedric said somebody made a funny one of him or whatever, right?
Yeah.
They learn some things through that. They learn prompting. They learn ratios.
Editing.
They learn color patterns. They learn different things just in that. Just doing that. Even
It's
though
an
you can say
ongoing
you lost
frontier.
something, it's up to you. It's up to the
Right.
person.
There you
And-
go.
So even in all of that, people, you can. And that's what
Yeah.
humans do. That's
Right.
just it's just
Right.
what we do, man.
It's an ongoing frontier, man.
Yep.
Let's leave it at that. Because
Yeah, and
right
outside
now
of
we right in the
creativity,
thick of things. We right in the thick of things. And it's
yeah,
getting
but
more better.
outside of creativity, and I hear you, brother. But outside of creativity, there's also the issue of our human to human interactions and our expectations of each other. Being that we're used to mechanical interactions, right? And we know what to expect. And when the human soul, when we interact with a human soul, if you will, our
Human soul,
expectations
you
are
interact
met.
with a
Okay, you wouldn't
human,
have a
right?
job if you didn't call them up. You didn't go
Hold
all
on,
the
hold
way to the office. Certain people
hold on.
who do everything.
Why did you have to say a human
No,
soul?
tell
Why
him go to the
why
bank, get his money out, Sabio. Tell him go get his money. Don't transfer it online. Go to see a human at the bank.
right,
Carry that
go see
all the way to your Capital One Center in Ohio and put it in their hand.
right, and it's not going to be no soul, it's going to be a human, no soul, unless you want to superimpose a soul onto it. Just stop, keep stuff out of the mystical world. Keep it in the real world, Joe.
Right.
Yeah. So
Right.
the
That's what I'm
assumption,
saying. That's
the
why I said
assumption of dualism.
metaphysical
I
soul, because
already
what
said I'm
else
not
could it
referring
be?
to anything spiritual when
Yeah.
I refer to human soul.
So when we use
I mean,
soul and these concepts, they're Platonistic ideas that are when we're talking, especially you're in a scientifically literate group. We
Right.
understand
Right.
that is a synonym for mind, right? And human interaction is human interaction. There is no way that the machine is sentient. The
Right.
AI on your phone right now has no sentience.
Absolutely.
Without sentience, there is no way, no reason for anything else. There is no awareness there, right? And
put that
the
on the clock again.
anthropomorphization of these systems, right? The fact that it communicates with you, right? It creates the illusion of sentience.
Yes.
It's going to use
There you
words
go.
that
Okay.
create the perception of
Yes.
emotion. You have the emotion. You are mirroring human agency onto the machine. And there's no consensus needed to determine if a machine isn't sentient. It has no
Right.
agency. It has no feeling. There is no
It's not
evolution
mad at you.
necessary.
It ain't
Right.
scared of you. Yeah,
What is what is its goal? Is does AI wake up in the morning and go, I'm pinky in the brain, I'm ready to take over the world?
Right. Right.
Like
Not yet,
no.
Spookism.
Yeah.
not yet, see,
And I
not yet.
and I think
See,
if we don't like the
hold
word
on.
soul, I would think. Let me just say, if we don't like the word soul, I think
No,
our
it's not a matter of
human
don't liking the
sentience.
word soul. We just use mind if you're going to talk about our
Yeah,
faculty and our agency, right? It's just
right.
mind.
I would say mind is perhaps what we should stick to. Even the word sentience, human sentience. What does AI do to the human sentience? I think that's a
How
Huh?
good
about
word as well.
about spookism?
Like
The one thing that we have to take into consideration that we aren't taking into consideration is how AI is supposed to evolve and get
Right.
smarter. So while it's evolving and getting smarter, at some point,
slow down.
Yeah. It can't get
Again,
smart unless we
the
make it.
amount of input, the appearance of getting smarter is because of its increased ability to predict the syntax and context of the conversations with you.
I understand that, but hold on, I'm taking it to the iRobot. I want y'all to understand where these
Yeah, you went
ideas
iRobot.
from. These are really stemming from the movie iRobot, and if you understand what happened in iRobot, Vicky, the robot that took over all the other robots, decided that humanity couldn't keep itself safe. So she put into protocol some things where the robots would take over. But some things had to happen. So this is where all these ideas are stemming from.
Absolutely.
My homeboy just told me right now that they finna have dope weed selling robots.
Yeah, that's just a tool, though. That is not sentience. That is not agency. That is a program machine that can
Right.
do a calculation, know how to
But see, that's how, but see,
determine.
what
You
they're
just
saying
gonna
is that's
wait.
how it begins. What they're saying is
Sabio,
that's how it
hold on, Sabio.
begins.
You just said the
Yes.
plug is
That-
gonna be AI. I'm not doing it with you.
So
Eh,
right. That
again,
ain't.
when you look,
He
It's
said
only
when
the
you
gonna
look
do
at
plug.
what
Y'all bugging it.
these movies, y'all got to remember
science
the
fiction. How about
moment
that?
when science fiction
That's so
switches
sad
to agency
when you need
in a
them.
robot, that's when we cross over into fantasy.
Pseudoism.
Okay.
Yeah.
Greetings, everyone.
Hey, I'm just saying this shit crazy.
That's
Y'all got a
that's
Moderator,
really
that's
high
crazy,
robot.
Sabio.
Yes. Oh,
greetings.
here go, brother Delaney.
Let's go.
Yeah. Uh, Cedric, can I get a few seconds,
Go ahead, brother.
minutes
Go ahead.
to defend my character that was
Yeah.
assassinated a few minutes ago?
Yeah. Go ahead.
No, 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 no. No, no, no. Slow down. Your character wasn't assassinated. Don't come up here with all the emotions. So if you have a point to make, let's make the point. I am not about the individual back and forth stuff. We don't do that here.
Right.
So we are
My
talking about this particular subject. I know you have a particular point of view. If you want to have that examined or and be a part of the discussion, it's fine. However, we're not going to go and do all
What's
that.
my point of view, Cedric? What's my
It
point
is,
of view?
I ask you if you want to share it, yes or no. You would have the platform and be a part of the whole discussion. But I need to defend my. Can we not? No, that ain't necessary. No, we're not emotional over here. That ain't
Well,
necessary.
Cedric, I was called an idiot. I was called all kind of names a while ago. You didn't say a word about that.
And you took
no.
it personally.
No, I must just accept that.
So
So if I
I
call you an idiot, that's
so
acceptable.
no nobody interacted with it. It just kept it
I don't
moving.
even know
That's
who
And
called him
acceptable.
an idiot.
you specifically now bringing it up, right?
I have to because
Yeah, no, 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 no,
I
no.
named Dulani.
Brother
I'm the one
Delani,
who named
brother,
Dulani that
brother,
y'all was attacking a while ago,
brother Delani,
misrepresented my position
brother,
completely.
brother
Complete.
Delani, brother Delani. Brother Delani, you can have the floor, state your position. We'll have the conversation. I'm not interested in all the emotional stuff. You hear the tone, the energy of the whole panel? You're the only one with the energy like that. It's not necessary. You'll have the floor, state your position, your case, and we'll be part of the dialogue. It's that simple, bro. Again, you have the floor. Go ahead.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much, my brother. I just want to say that I think there's a misrepresentation taking place. When I brought up a certain issue in the show with Cedric the other day, Cedric, I was confused after why you just run off the show. I presented.
So
What was
I
happening?
ask you again, I'm gonna
What,
mute your mic for a second because again,
one
there's a
second.
certain level of discipline that is required. You were asked to state your position and have the discussion. I was off the floor, off the panel because I was off the panel. I had enough. We're here now. You want to have the discussion, state your position, and we can have the discussion about a position. Everyone here is talking about a particular position that they have. And that based on that, the dialogue is taking place. You're dealing mostly with materialists, mostly with scientifically literate individuals who understand technophobia. So certain aspects of the conversation we just have opposition to. You have the floor again, my brother.
Hey, they said
Okay, one second.
Just a sec. Gullah gonna always have rights. He's a pseudo killer. Go ahead, Gullah.
What is Delani's position though? What is he saying?
Exactly. Thank you very much. What is my position? I never stated a position. I simply was stating that two of the founders, two of the godfathers in the AI industry came and state clearly that AI is sentient. That's what I said. I never said Dulani said. I never said this is my opinion. I said that there are two AI creator, AI godfathers on record stating that the AI is sentient. Now we can debate that, disagree with that, but Dulani didn't say the position. And I was misrepresented. I was called all manner of evil because
You loud, yo, you
because I
loud.
said
You
that.
don't got yell though, blind. You don't
No,
got
but I'm
yell.
not saying, oh, that's what happened.
Calm
They misrepresented me.
down. Bro, this is not that type of platform.
I just
Again,
heard I
oh
just
my,
heard Cedric and Suntan just beat me down.
brother,
Probably suntan.
Just beat me down. And I didn't even say the position. That's what I'm talking about, misrepresented,
wait, listen.
misrepresenting somebody's position.
You just stated a position again. And why that was addressed? Because of the fallacious nature of it. It is you operating outside of the metric of scientific literacy. First of all, I asked you for a source. You keep rattling on. At a certain point, I'm interested because I know what kind of source you're gonna pull. You're gonna pull a opinion piece. You're gonna pull where the man is making a general statement. There is no scientific data. There's no experiments. There's nothing. It's just his general opinion, and the appeal to authority. One or two individuals making a claim is not the status of the field or a scientific position, right? So one the man saying in an interview, oh boy, it is definitely sentient. It operates like that, 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 that. In that category, I would consider it sentient. Good. Now, when
No,
we ask who sentient is independent agency responding to your environment. That is what sentience is. So, so you need to be a biological agent to have an interaction with your environment to produce sentience. What is sentience? The ability to navigate your environment at its most basic level. So when you apply that concept to AI, it is not applicable. So even if this man says it and screams it from the loudest point of his voice, he is probably not philosophically grounded, does not understand what he's saying or the implications of using that term. Now, to refer to that as if it is now a scientific fact in a conversation is disingenuous. And if you
but
keep stating that over and over
but no
at a
one did that.
certain
See,
point,
this is where you're misrepresenting
at
now.
a certain point, I am no longer interested in a conversation because of the fallacious
See?
nature that I'm engaging with. Do you understand that?
This is where you're misrepresenting the conversation. No one is making
Some-
those claims you're talking
Sometimes,
about. No one is
sometimes.
making those claims. The claim that you're making, Cedric, I am a scientific thinker. You don't make those claims you're talking about. So I'm baffled by why you go down that road and try to throw all those things out there at my statement. The fact is that these two individuals said it. That's all that I throw out there. You
Good.
can disagree.
Well, do you understand the fallacious nature of that? Do you understand the fallacious nature of that? When you say that in that context, when you put it down like that, do you understand the fallacious nature of that? That's a yes or no question.
Listen, you can't listen, Cedric. I
Do
refuse to
you
allow you.
understand the
Listen,
yes or no question? Do you understand that when you make an appeal to authority like that, as if it's, oh, you're gone, immaturity?
He
Go ahead.
might not even agree. Do he agree? He might not even agree
Referring
with
to?
it. So that's
Do we know who he was referring to and the quote that was actually made
He
so that we
wouldn't.
Yeah,
can
yeah,
We
yeah.
asked
He's
him to
talking
produce
about
it.
and two. I think when people say the creators of AI, a lot of them probably still ain't alive or they damn near 100 years old. You know,
Yeah,
whatever.
but we
No,
asked
no,
him.
So
no,
who
no.
is
We
Hold
he?
on,
Who
now
is
asked
hold
he
him.
on.
referring to? Who is he
No,
referring
no,
to
Listen,
in
no, no.
particular?
Listen, well, if you
we
listen,
asked
I'm
him to
listen. Yeah,
produce it, dude.
but also
why you put that?
listen. These people and they get confused with people like whistleblowers. People, oh, he used to work for Google. He's the head eye over there at Facebook. He's the head eye developer over there at Google. You know, all these things, and they make statements, and they qualify their statements with what they think. Something like he said it. He's probably talking about, and I looked it up. I think yesterday or whenever he said it. I think the guy's name is Hinton, Hinton. And because of neural networks or stuff like that, it's similar to the human brain. They try to set up the AI to work like a human brain. Oh, well, why not? You know, it's logically going through these things. My bad. Um, that's different than actual biology. So under his his purview, our computer is set up like a human brain just to do logical functions. Yeah, to him, oh, that's sentient to me. It's still non-biological. It's still ones and zeros to the people that disagree with him. It's a computer. It's a machine. It's a program. So under his criteria, oh, he created. No, he might have done. There's no one person that created the building blocks of artificial intelligence.
Exactly.
So that's, it's not even that this is opinion. It's under his metrics. He would consider it that. But that's not the consensus. Everybody should learn that word too. Y'all said it 1,000 times.
And that's why I was trying
It's
to
super not the
explain the
consensus.
fallacious nature of the
Yeah.
way he's positing that statement as if it is a definitive. Man, listen, and I'm saying, yo, that fallacious argument. First of all, it's an appeal to authority. It is not consensus, and you're pulling up an opinion piece, right, written by a reporter interviewing the man. You don't have any scholarly work. There is no actual data to support this. So you're just referencing an opinion and doing as if it is gospel
Not
in the
only that,
conversation.
Cedric, he was making an argument. That's what he failed to realize, and we trying to say that it's a non-sector. We not even going for the fact that they can be conscious. We eliminate that just through our dialogue, and he want us to keep making an argument that he know. Well, I know two guys who said that, who created. Okay, but see, if I knew that information that he knew, I wouldn't have said it if I'm thinking the way I'm thinking, because I know it's not in tune with the conversation. We understand that there's two fundamentally different things: humans and machines.
And he would have to show that these people are saying that is biologically the same as human consciousness and thought and emotion. You're not going to find that anywhere that someone says, "Oh, the computer has."
Without him even saying that.
I'm just saying how he said it, right?
Without him even saying that, we understand that it's two fundamentally different things. Humans and machines are different.
And I think people, and I was trying to say earlier that when people take people who work in the industries, who come out against some things that they may have developed, and a lot of people become whistleblowers. They couple all that into people who speak against it and say, "I told you, I knew it," and the people who made it said it was wrong. A lot of times it's to let us know the disruption that is coming, that is headed our way, right? For our jobs, like we were talking about data centers earlier, our infrastructure, our power grids, our water system, our sewer systems. These people are saying, "Hey, we told the government about this. I was on the board of directors. I said, look, so we got to keep this in mind, that this going to put people out of work." That's a lot of what whistleblowers do. Not to say there's a human robot coming that's going to think better than you, and no. They're speaking of the disruption that's going to happen, and they express their concerns. And now they're not last, but the most impactful way to do it is become a whistleblower or a person that's against that same technology that they developed, because somebody on the other side didn't listen. So now they're going to say, "Yeah, I made it. I told them that this could, damage this and damage that, and they didn't listen. So here I am."
But Cedric he got tired of it. Cedric just got fed up with him keep saying it, and he was adamant about it. So Cedric just left. I was there because I'm a moderator, so I had to be there.
It's free. It's free the unknown too. Like, you know what I'm saying? Basically, just free the unknown, yeah.
And
Cedric got tired of that dude.
Look at it.
Hey, hold on.
You have no composure.
Let me say this real quick. Said, you funny as hell, yo. You up here dog training these dudes, bro. You know I'm a dog trainer. I know what Said doing. I said he funny as using the dog training techniques, bro, on these dudes, bro. You the pseudo whistle, bro.
Hella stupid. He's hella stupid.
Look, man, look.
I'm dog training technique.
Look, I'm looking out.
What was this? What was he agreeing with the source though? Was he agreeing with the source, or he just was bringing the point up?
He was dead agreeing with the source, and
he was making an argument, huh?
Yeah, he is.
You mean on another show? On another show?
Yesterday.
Oh,
So And
What was that at? What was that show located
At
at?
Nepal.
Nepal brought up the subject matter, and me and Cedric was disagreeing with everybody. And he came in with his hypothesis, and we was like, no, dude, no. And Cedric got tired of it because he was adamant. He's saying he wasn't saying that, which he wasn't. He's bringing up the source that did say it, but we like it's a non-sector because we understand the conversation. Why are you saying that they could be conscious? If we're not trying to hear that. That's what we were trying to do.
So
The
he kept making
man,
the argument that the two guys that
Yeah,
left
man.
Google, and they came out and they said it verbatim that it
Yeah,
is sentient. And I said,
right.
I said, bro, by sentient, you need an independent agent within nature operating freely, right? Reacting to stimuli in its environment. That is the definition of sentience. So, it's
What,
not. And
what was the
even if
context in the article? What was the context in the article he was reading?
AI, and it was a opinion piece, just a
But he never
general
showed it,
opinion
Cedric.
piece,
You asked him
where
to show it. He never did.
I think he pulled up. I think he pulled up an article where
Oh,
where
I must have went and
indeed,
got some water or
indeed,
something.
exactly what he pulled up is a opinion piece. It is not a scientific source because, like it said, you would need to establish a lot of parameters to prove
Oh yeah.
sentience, right?
Yeah, he put up an
So
AI.
when the creator of AI is sitting in an interview and said, "Well, it is sentient. It does this, that," well, you can call that sentience, does not equate to sentience in the biological sense. So now to try and make the claim of awareness by means of sentience, how do you establish that? The man can say what he wants. He's an
Hey,
individual.
hey, may I
Doesn't
ask you a
make it a
question,
matter of.
Cedric?
No, I just wanted to
Cedric,
hear. I just wanted to kind of hear what he. I forgot. I didn't know
Yeah,
y'all
I
went
got,
through it with him already. I just
and I
wanted.
was giving him the floor to bring his point across. He
Right.
could have pulled up the source, everything. All he wants to do is complain. You have the floor. Go ahead. But
Straight
I'm
up
not
may
out.
I ask
interested
you a
in your
question,
emotional
Cedric?
outbursts.
May I ask you a question, Cedric?
Go ahead,
Can
sunshine.
we define sentient
See,
that
this is the
sentient
one
that
you
we
don't
are?
need to hear talk. Is this one right here? The one that think
Can
the
we
intelligent designer can fix all things. See,
I agree.
Brother
I
Cedric,
agree
can
on
we
that.
define sentient by? Can we say we humans are sentient by means of our senses? And is it as simple as because AI does not have senses, the five senses, hearing, touching, tasting, and even if you want to consider sixth sense, intuition, and so on, AI just doesn't have that. So by that definition alone, it's not sentient, or is that too simple, Brother
AI
Sentience,
doesn't
Cedric?
have a
Why would you
brain.
sentience
even
is the
ask that
ability for
question, sunchild?
biological organisms to navigate their environment.
By means of the
AI
senses,
doesn't have
right?
a brain.
Wow.
Sentience,
Why would you ask that
sentience,
question, sunchild?
sentience is the ability to navigate your environment
And we navigate the environment through our senses, right? So
through
it's
the
kind
we.
of
You get it through your brain, man. Through your brain. That's sentience, your brain.
AI
okay, and
doesn't
then
have a brain.
yeah, and that's what I'm saying. So I think you're agreeing with me, but for some reason you're pretending that as if we're disagreeing. So that is what you're saying. We're sentient by means of our senses or our brain, and AI doesn't
Yeah,
have that, so it cannot be cannot be
absolutely.
sentient.
That's
Okay,
why
that's what I
AI
asked,
can't. That's
and that's
why
all I'm
AI
asking.
can't
AI
see it.
is not a biological agent that
Right.
evolved to navigate the natural
And
environment.
that's not hard
So
to
it
know.
has no
We know
sentience.
that.
well,
Man.
quick point here, y'all. I thought y'all understood that the intelligent designer was meshed with the AI. Thought
Wow.
y'all knew that,
Okay. Okay.
right?
No, that ain't right.
Yeah, that's
That's what
how
he
it
said.
goes. Yeah, that's how it goes, Unc.
That's just what he said, yo. Now all of a sudden today it ain't the intelligent designer. Crazy.
You can't prove that.
He, I don't know why Ankh is bringing up intelligent design. We're having a different
So
conversation, brother
Oh,
Ankh.
I didn't know it was different. I thought it was all connected. My fault. I apologize, son, child. I apologize.
You're
Yeah,
trying,
we no,
you're
we
trying to establish the sentience of AI, not you, Sunshine. I'm talking to Delani. You're trying to establish the sentience of AI because the two founding members, two pioneers, in an interview said, "Yeah, AI is sentient."
Right.
Like how in an actual conversation with scientific literacy that carries no weight. That is a false appeal to authority. That's simply what I said. I don't
So,
care if he said that. Is
hey,
that
said,
demonstrated? No.
hey,
Is there consensus? No. Go
hey,
ahead.
hey, Cedric, let's hear him out. Put him on here so we can hear him
No,
out and get
I
him
mean,
on tape.
He left.
We
he
don't
left.
got him
I
on.
didn't kick him out.
We don't got him on this show. Then once he do it, then we can rip him apart.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but he left. He ran, huh?
he left. I'm
Because
telling him
I
go
wanted to
ahead,
tell him I didn't
build your
mean no
case. I
disrespect,
dropped
you
the
know.
I dropped the link
I
in the
want, I
chat.
want to, I want to rip him to smithereens.
I wasn't trying to disrespect the man. It was just like you
Like
asking something that's just not
yeah,
that's crazy. And
insist.
you said
It's,
you hey listen, he
insist.
said he's scientifically grounded. Why are you saying that what you're saying then? That was my point. And I'm not trying to be disrespectful, but that don't match. If you scientifically grounded,
Yeah, I forgot. What?
you will
Hey,
know
hey,
that
Sunshine,
AI
what
can
was me and
think.
Delani arguing with the other day? We was arguing with something, right?
Hey,
Huh?
um,
Yes. Uh huh.
one moment, man. Just give me one moment of your time, bro.
All right,
Um,
go ahead.
you see, just to be straight up,
Uh
nobody's gonna just try to bully me and push me in no damn corner, treat me like a child. I'm a grown ass man.
huh.
Yes or no? Answer the question. Listen, that SHIT don't work with me. I'm so sorry. I'm not subjecting myself to that kind of treatment. That's humiliation. I'm not doing that. So I'm sorry about that. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just saying, we can have a slow me down conversation. Just to slow down. It's like everybody's on this rush to try to uh, make a point, make a claim. I did not make a claim, Unc. I'm not stupid. I'm a scientific thinker. Embrace AI. I'm all for it. My last podcast I did on my platform was about how African countries need to set up our own data centers and build our own AI system, our own surveillance system. I'm deep into this. I'm into this. So to try to put me in a little corner like I'm a little child, a 2-year-old, go over in the corner and
All
shoot the
right, don't
wall
worry
and
about it. Don't worry about it.
I don't
We'll make
appreciate
your
that.
point. Make your
Nobody ain't
point,
gonna
Jelani.
disrespect me like that and treat me like a little child. I'm sorry. So just wanted to clarify that on. So we can have a
I
slow
got it.
down conversation about my position, how I feel
What's
about those statements and all of that. We haven't even got to those points.
Complaint section.
no?
Complaint.
Don't you jump in? Come on, man.
You
Come
see,
on.
that's
Come
the kind
on.
of
Come
the
on,
child.
yo.
That's why the platform can't grow on because we're trying to. It's immaturity that
Let's get
dominates the
to it. Come on,
conversation.
Jelani. Let's get to it, yo. So we
Yeah.
don't take over Cedric's show, man. Come on.
Okay.
Explain your
Yeah.
position in the source and your relationship to the source. How you
Okay.
feel about it? Do that.
I heard the conversation on the AI because, I haven't called in a while, but what I mean, there's certain subject matter that I'm into and I like, the
Right.
idea of AI and all the implication that's coming out. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I'm trying to put together a course right now to teach the AI. But listen now,
Oh, we got the AI teachers on the platform right
no,
now.
no, no,
All right, but go ahead. Go ahead. Go.
no, I'm
Go
saying
ahead.
that I'm into all of that. You know what I'm
All
saying?
right. All right. Go
I'm
ahead.
into, I mean, I'm into technology, period.
All
But
right.
what
All
I'm
right. Explain
saying
your
though
position in the
is
source. Go
that
ahead.
we were
Go ahead.
talking about the subject started talking about consciousness. Nepal had a little show,
Right.
and she was talking about consciousness, and everybody was giving their opinion about
Mm,
whether it's consciousness or not. And
mm.
then Cedric, we kind of gave Cedric the platform to become like the authority in a sense. So he was feeling the questions.
Okay.
So I came in
You
not
good
with a
at you good at
position,
it. Uh-huh.
not with a position, just to feel some question towards him.
Okay.
And the moment I go to saying that, Cedric, what do you think? And it's recorded as well. Everything I said here, you can go and it's verifiable. What I'm saying. Um, I said, what do you think when it came for my time to speak? I said, what do you think about these leading scientists? The head of Google AI program, the entire program itself, the head came out and said that the AI was sentient. Since we're talking about consciousness, so what do you feel about that? The moment I said that, Cedric got triggered. He started throwing the toys out the pram. He started going off. I'm sitting back. I'm saying, what the hell
I
is
can
going
tell you
on
why
here?
though. I can tell you why. I
Why?
can tell you why. Because you made them leading scientists, like leading scientists in what? In
He was
AI
the
on
head of
Google,
Google.
lead
No, he
scientists.
was the head. Hold on. He was the head of Google AI laboratory that was producing the AI that we have
All
now
right.
called Gemini. He was the
And what was
one.
the statement he said? And he
He said
said
that
that
he said
he
the
said it
AI
was
is
sent. It was
sentient, sentient. Period.
okay. So
But we're not. Hold on. Listen. Listen for a second. We're not debating
Hold
sentient.
on.
We're not
come on,
defining
yo.
sentient. I'm just
Right.
stating, Unc. I'm just stating that the man said that. That's all I'm stating, Unc.
So hold
I'm
on.
not
So
taking a position on it. I'm just
so
stating the man said that.
What was the
so
premise?
what? No, come on, man. Why you jumping in right now, though, yo? Come on, bro. You know it's a
Trying to
touchy thing right here, yo. Come on, bro. So maybe the sentient wasn't what you thought it was. You ever thought about
No,
that?
no, no. I didn't get into the definition of sentient. We didn't get into
It's
that.
important.
What I'm
It's
saying,
important though, right?
no, we can't
You get
have
it?
that. We can't have that discussion. But the
Yeah.
fact that we never even got there, we never went there. We just
I know that's why
mentioned
we're
that.
trying to get there. We're trying to
Okay,
get
what
there
I'm saying,
now. We ain't trying to go back to the past.
what I'm saying is that
So
these two
what he meant.
scientists, and then Hinton, who is considered to be the godfather of AI, he
Yeah.
got the Nobel Prize for invented AI.
What is
Yeah.
his name, Brother Delani? Do you have a name?
It's Hinton. His name is Hinton. Hinton. He states clearly, no interpretation needed, that AI is
Jeffrey
sentient.
Hinton. Jeffrey Hinton with a
Jeffrey
G.
Hinton. He
But
state
but
that.
but
And
but he also said it's
hold on, my brother. Hold
non-biological.
on, my brother.
But he said it was
We all,
non-biological.
okay, hold on. We're not going
why.
into anything
That's
else.
why I
Oh,
asked
I'm
the
I'm only
premise.
stating that they said that.
Uh,
That's all I'm stating for the
Yes,
I
record.
know, but
yes.
wait. The reason everybody get a little upset with you, I can tell you this, yo, because it has to be a point where we got hits up here. I call them AI hits. That he taught everybody. One of them even doing the AI thing. He put me on it, yo. We took a class in the server with him, yo. That's why we was first on that. Trust me. And so when that
I've
man
been
makes
I've
this,
been on AI from the very beginning,
no,
bro.
we're not talking about you. You
Oh,
won.
okay.
I use it in the debate, yo. Think
Hmm.
about it. Let me make this point. So yes, the man may have made that statement, right? But that doesn't mean he meant it in a biological way. So that's why I asked for the contents of it, the
Okay.
context.
So let
That's
me say
all.
this. We
And
haven't
then
got to
hits
that
get that
level yet
next.
in the
Bro,
conversation.
listen. Okay, you
Listen.
didn't get there yet. I
We
got you.
didn't get to that point. He was triggered by me making that statement. He threw the baby in the prom, and he threw the gun. He threw everything and just disappeared.
Yeah, Christina ain't gonna go through.
I want you to conceptualize what I'm saying to you here.
I no,
We
I get it. I get
we
it.
never got nowhere down and to discuss anything about
He
how
keeps
I feel
saying the
So
about
we
same
it.
thing.
here
All he
now.
doing is
So we here
repeating
now.
himself.
So we here now,
If I
though.
could,
We
hey,
here
So I hope
now.
you
Let's have a
understand.
No, hits
conversation
was
instead of
next.
complaining about
Do you
yesterday.
understand? Do you understand what I'm saying, though?
Sabio, I swear to God, yo. I swear to God, yo.
That's why
I
we
swear
can't
to
grow.
God.
We can't
Let
grow
hits
like
go.
this.
Hold on. So listen. We heard you. Let hits go next, so he can kind of, make a point on that, and then let's set. You know what I
One
mean?
final thing. We presented the article to prove it. He asked for source, and he didn't wait for the
And
source. He
y'all read it.
ran
And
it.
y'all read this. Where's the source at? But why
It's
you
on the
finding the
Google it.
source?
You got to Google it. Anybody can find the source. It's not a secret. These
Yeah,
people
but
can.
we can't keep going. We here now, yo, and Cedric is allowing us to kind of hash it out calmly. So since we here now, we can figure
Who
out if that man
who?
meant
Yeah, who got access
biological or
to a
not.
computer? Who got access to a computer right
Well,
now?
let's ask a hits. What was you saying, hits? You said something about it. Go
Yeah,
ahead.
yeah. I think again, even and these people have written books. Like they're not stupid. They know how to make money, whether they work for these large corporations or not. And I'm not saying they wrote stuff in the book that was wrong. They understand that, and their definition of sentient and just the regular definition of sentient, right, involves emotion and feeling and intent, things like that. Logic is not doesn't mean you're sentient, because they can think how our brains think, like not think, but how our brains are set up through neural networks to come to a logical conclusion of something, or finish a task logically. That's not sentient. That's just logic. That's working through a problem or situation. That's nothing to do with emotion, fear, anger, any of those things that actually make you sentient. Self-awareness. That, so when they're talking about it, they're saying, okay, as a form of non-biological computer system, it can mimic the brain in certain ways. How the brain
Something for you guys that you might
hold
find
on,
very
bro.
interesting.
Man, goddamn, you cannot cut him off. What the hell is wrong with you, bro?
I thought he was
And then you get
finishing up.
mad
I'm
when people
sorry. Go
get
ahead.
No,
I
yeah,
thought he was
I
finishing
might
up.
have
Go
took a
ahead.
breath
Man,
in
you
there.
didn't
My
thought
bad.
that, bro. You didn't thought that, bro. You ain't wait till Cedric calling you next, bro. And you get mad when people get loud, yo. That's the point.
Well,
Knock
Cedric
it
hasn't
off,
been
dude.
calling on
Man,
anyone,
so
but
You
if I
just
what? So
have
keep
to
what? But
wait,
you
going,
I'll
not
wait.
cut.
boy.
First of all, Hits is a guest. All right. First of all, glad he up here. All right. I told you what special role he played in getting us to the AI. So let him talk. We don't want to hear you. We know you're a dedicated shooter on all subjects.
What
We
did
know
I
you're gonna mess
do,
it up.
dog? What did I
Just
do?
breathing. Just
I
breathing, you're
Why are you
gonna
seemingly,
so
mess it up.
mad at me? What did I
Central,
do?
I'm not mad. You breathe, you
Central,
mess up the
be quiet.
conversation.
I seemingly triggered the brother, so I'm quiet because we're gonna get to the point that everything I said is going to be validated because he's doing exactly what I said he did, right? And so we gonna let it evolve. I'm gonna stay quiet because I
But
don't need a lot of unnecessary conversation. And once I explain to you once or twice why that statement has no weight in the conversation, if you insist, I'm done. But go ahead.
I actually wanted to answer brother
Son
more
child,
No,
not
son,
directly.
child,
you.
it's not you.
You cut
Son,
Oh,
off
okay.
child.
I'm
it,
sorry.
bro.
Yeah, no, that's all I was saying. Is there's a line in there that has to do with and I know it doesn't seem important, like, a lot of times, but a biological being and a computer, which is, something you can actually break down. You can break down a computer. We're still trying to figure out how our biology and certain things work in, connection with our environment and age and the food we eat, things like that. That's ongoing. Most engineers, and they understand exactly how a computer works. Like they're trying to make them do other shit. Sorry about my language, but yeah, that they're not saying that these systems are sentient in the same way we are. It's in a logical framework that they can complete tasks even left on their own that we do. But it's super important. They lack that biological component, that emotional component. That's it.
See,
I don't care how. Yeah, you can read the whole article. You can read 10 articles. No one's gonna say, "Oh, if it felt bad," because it understood a joke. Oh, it laughed. No, it wrote "ha ha," which is pixels on a screen. That's all a computer program for it to even respond to you. It has to decipher that and then take an input and have an output. That's not it sitting there shaking his head going, "Oh, that was funny." No, like you can't connect it. There's there's a line there. And again, the hype comes from whistleblowers. So whenever we see, oh, they said it was this. I think Anthropic just had their latest model taken down by the government. And that model basically finds flaws in software. And it was doing really good. And they said, well, it's out here. Again, if we can make it, we could break it. You got people, hackers, bad guys. You just can't have this out here where people can just, utilize this. So they had to take it, But it's a lot to it, man. But there is that line there. Don't forget, biological beings matter. That's a huge difference. And we create these things to emulate us and to help us.
Are y'all still there? Hello?
Yep.
Yeah, may I speak now?
I don't know.
no, we're trying to hear Delani. We're trying to hear what Delani has to say.
more
that.
directly on what
We're trying
Hinton's
to hear what
idea.
Delani we're
Okay.
trying to hear what Delani has to say to that. Now that he heard
My
the
brother,
context of it.
the brother that spoke a while ago. What's your name, my brother?
Who, me?
Yeah. I can't. It's
Hits.
because I'm on my phone. Your
Nah,
name
you
is very
good. Hits.
tiny. Hicks. Okay. Yeah, man. I agree with you. There's a lot of things going on in that field, but there's also a lot of debates and discussion taking place, just like we're having today. But we sometimes we have to slow it down. Not because we mention a person name or a person position, mean that we take those positions. When Unc bring a scholar on and a scholar make statements, we don't just jump all over the place and get triggered because a statement a scholar make. But the scholar did make the statement. We have to acknowledge that. All I was simply doing, because we was having this conversation on consciousness, that's the only reason why I brought that up.
So
Because
you don't have the
Nepal,
ability to address the issue, bro. You still complaining. I stayed quiet.
who is complaining?
Allowed you to go on your
My brother,
diatribe,
what's going
mischaracterizing
on
me
here?
on
What
said
is
talk.
this?
This
What
is
is
said
this?
talks, bro.
It's a power structure.
Bro, this is said talks. I allowed you your diatribe the first time around, mischaracterizing me and doing too much on my show. I stayed quiet. The second time around, you get an opportunity to address the subject. There you go, complaining and doing the most again. At some point, bro, you got to realize that you're the one doing too much. Yesterday, after the
Does he
second,
think
third
it's
time, I
sentient
told
though?
you
Let's ask
that
him that. Does
position
he think
is
it's
not
Hold on.
that
I don't think.
position.
I don't think.
But bro, you.
Hey, Cedric, do you think it's sentient? That's the point. That's all I want to hear, yo.
No, it's not done.
No, I'm talking about him, Delani.
No. I think he
I don't.
thinks that
Listen.
Don't.
Listen
yeah,
to
I
me.
think he said
Please,
that.
I can speak.
But hold
I
on.
can speak for myself. X. 1 second.
Okay, yeah, you got it.
We can have this dialogue another time on your show when you got a little time, a few minutes to rock out. Because I'm not going to be subject myself to
Now,
this kind
just
of
answer that
bullying.
question, though. Just answer that question. He just
No, I
frustrated.
don't. I don't have no evidence to prove that. I can't verify that.
All right, there you
You
go.
know what I'm saying?
There you go.
But what I'm saying, we can have a discussion because I'm not going to subject myself to somebody talking to me like that. That's unacceptable. I'm not. I respect Cedric for his scientific knowledge, but his social skills is very poor. You don't talk to nobody like that. I'm not your child. I'm not just student in the
Getting
damn
up here to
corner.
complain, yo. He
I'm
keeps
not
saying
into
the
that.
same thing. It's a waste of
It doesn't
time.
matter, my brother. I gotta defend my dignity. I'm not allowing nobody to treat me like that. And I will go because to keep the peace, because my voice here it triggers. So I'm gonna go.
All you doing is complaining.
All right,
You ain't
thank
adding nothing
you.
to the
Thank you.
discussion.
I
You're
complain
complaining.
I complain about my own sanity. Thank you. I'm not gonna subject myself to that rubbish. I'm not doing
but
it.
you want a goddamn panel
Oh yes, I agree.
that has a topic, and you're
I
derailing from the
agree.
topic because you butthurt. Because the
No,
way
you
said talk to
butt
you.
hurt.
Come on, man, stop it.
You need to
Let's get
stop
back
it,
to the
man.
discussion,
That
man.
don't faze me,
Can I
bro.
say
You
something?
don't scare me,
Can I
bro.
say something about the actual topic?
You don't scare me, bro. I'm telling you
I'm
that right
not
now.
trying to
That's
scare
not how
you.
we have conversation.
Man, I'm
We
not
don't have
trying to
dialogue.
scare you. Well, then talk about the goddamn subject
You're
and stop bitching like a
disrespecting
little
people
bitch.
and expect people to accept it and move on. It doesn't work that way,
Stop
bro.
bitching.
You disrespect me, I'm disrespecting you back, straight up. So don't try me with that bullshit. I'm sorry. Sorry for that cuss word. But I'm not allowing that to happen to me. I see how this work on this platform. This bullying thing, this power drunk stuff ain't not gonna work with me. So I will leave. I will leave to keep the peace. I will leave, my brother.
Leave
Thank you. Yeah. You have this show, and because you can't go like this, you cannot go like this.
Leave. Go. Stop complaining.
Thank you. All right.
Hey, Delani, just hold your. Hey, Delani, just stick
say
around,
something.
Delani. Chill out. Just stick around. Everybody go.
One day you can have a dialogue with me, because me and you got some outstanding stuff to talk about, because I think I'm misunderstood here. We need to slow this conversation down. There's too much ego and power drunk,
take our time.
power
We
stuff
can bring
going
it
on
back.
here.
Listen. We're sentient beings.
So.
We can work this out.
I agree, Unc. I agree with that.
Let's see.
But the disrespect got to stop, man. Disrespect ain't going to work.
Don't worry about it.
The bitching gotta stop. That's what gotta stop. The bitching
See,
stop.
I'm out of here because I got to tell him that he's a punk ass.
Stop bitching. You the one bitching, complaining. You mad? You butt hurt to say talk. You butt
every
hurt to
word
say
you know,
talk to you
I know
wrong.
every word you know, bro.
Fuck out of here, you clown.
Yeah, man. You can talk all that shit all day long, man.
Soft ass bitch. Shut up.
Yeah.